defences win titles, strikers win your matches.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know, to win the Champions League, to win a league, you have to have a fabulous defence as well as a great attack.
Now we're just one sleep away from Euro 2025. The Lionesses get their campaign underway against France on Saturday, live on talkSPORT. And New England #1 keeper Hannah Hampton has addressed concerns about inexperience in the goalie group.
People have said before that the goalkeeper group's inexperienced. It's also not. They've had so much experience in their club, winning trophies or competing in Champions Leagues themselves, that they're experienced in their own right.
Elsewhere, day 2 of Wimbledon sees Jack Draper in action, and Nick Kyrgios has high hopes for him.
I think Draper's definitely a contender for Wimbledon, and in pretty much any tournament he plays. You know, he's a great athlete, big left-hander, super professional. I think that, you know, British tennis right now is in incredible form. You got a lot of good players, a lot of depth, and same can be said about the Aussie tennis. I think Aussie and British tennis right now, it's an exciting time, and you've got a genuine contender in Draper.
But it was another Brit that caught Neil Warnock's eye yesterday.
Katie Bolt.
Oh, brilliant.
I mean, I thought some of the rallies, because she was a seeded player that she was playing, wasn't she?
Yeah, 9 seed.
And I thought that the guts and determination, I thought, wow, put that into football, she'd be a hell of a player, wouldn't she?
Katie Bolter to Arsenal, anyone? Of course, she's more used to hitting balls over the net than into them, so maybe head to talksport.com for the latest on some slightly more realistic signings.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein. The laugh you can hear, of course, the laugh that comes from Darren Bent.
It's Darren here, by the way, Darren Bent.
Benty!
And you alright?
You alright? Buzzing today, you alright? Sun's shining, it's too hot, but I'm good. Are you alright? You well?
Yeah, not bad.
So what are you doing? What's the matter with you?
No, I'm just, I mean,
Never ready.
I'm ready.
Never ready. You
Alright, I'm always ready to go.
Where's your headphones? By Jingo, we've got a show for you this afternoon. We'll ask if City fans are worried ahead of next season after they were dumped out of the Club World Cup by Al Hilal. Are Tottenham failing to back Thomas Frank as their quiet transfer window continues, and what will be a good season for them under the new manager is one of the questions we'll be asking today. Ben and I will be picking our top 5 Premier League Davids, and we'll also be asking if Erling Haaland is already a top 10 Premier League striker of all time. We'll be bringing you all the very latest transfer rumours in Drive's car boots out. And of course, we've got boxing covered. Eddie Hearn will be joining us to talk Eubank Ben again, the rematch, and Adam Smith will be joining us in the studio. How about that for a show? This is Drive, this is talkSPORT. You can get involved simply by picking up the phone 03717 223344.
Oil over it. Get my brush thing, get the oil over it.
Good to see you. Lovely to see you. Yeah. I should start the show. With an apology.
To who?
I apologise to you. You probably don't even notice it's coming. I apologise to you. I apologise to Mikel Arteta because I've constantly said that you haven't got enough to get over the line. I've just heard you sign Kepa. So well done. Congratulations. Great signing. That'll get you over the line. Kepa's coming. Well done. Good work, Arteta. I can only apologise. Go on, the Arsenal. You alright? Oh, Jake, you don't need to play the album.
He ain't cut up as he just
get it up. I said to him earlier, got it? Yeah, got it. Yeah. Kepa, eh?
Yeah,
what difference that, mate?
A good signing, mate.
Norgard coming as well.
You need always need a good backup.
Who else you got?
Well, Nonny Madueke they're talking about now, aren't they?
Oh, God. That's him. Or you might stay up.
No, listen, even without
Don't bite. Don't bite. You're better than that.
Even without that.
You're better than that.
I'd still fancy us to finish above you.
Well, it doesn't matter where we finish because if we finish top 8 and I've got my trainers, that's all I care about.
Yeah? What if you finish
7th? Don't care. Trainers.
You have to care.
It's just about me from now on. How was paddle this morning? You played really early at 6 o'clock or 6:15. How was paddle?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a good game. New place in Coventry. Enjoyed it.
That's nice.
Got the W, but yeah, it was good. I mean, again, there's nothing nicer than waking up early. Weather like today and yesterday, with a light beam through the window and that, it makes it so easy to just get up. But listen, ask me the same question around Christmas time when it's black.
Well, here's the thing. I love playing golf, right?
Yeah.
And I get up all weeks of the year, I get up at sort of 6:30 if I've got a game.
Yeah.
So sometimes in the winter, I've had 4 or 5 layers on, and I'm standing on the first tee, and I'm waiting for the sun to come up before I can hit a ball. And I'm standing there going like shivering. I mean, in no other world would I even dream of getting out of bed in the middle of winter.
So what is it that makes you know what I mean?
I tell you what, it's with golf. It's a good question. With golf, you can never master it. Or I can't ever master it. And there'll always be 3 or 4, maybe 5, 6 shots that make you go, if I play like that next time, I can get a better score. Because every single time you play, you're trying to bet your score.
Yeah.
It's so addictive. In fact, do you know what? You've got a horrific addictive personality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, most sports people have. To get to the very top, you've got to have something a little bit nuts about you, right?
Yeah.
And that's obviously a trait that you've got. And lots of you trainers, then darts, and now paddle, right? And it will move on.
Yeah. I don't think it will.
It will. If you get into golf, right?
That will never happen.
I think it will, mate.
No, it won't, mate.
I had a similar. That would never happen when I met my brother-in-law for the first time, and he had a vegetable patch, and I was like 28, and I went, I'll never have one of them. Cut 15 years later, I've got a vegetable patch.
No, golf will never enter that equation.
It will, Ben. It won't, because you'll get carried. It's a sport, right?
No,
you're very competitive.
Yeah, but there's something about this. It's not fast enough for me. That's why I don't think I'd ever get into it. Paddle, fast. Even darts, the way that we play, fast. Golf, no.
But golf, you look at the weather. You go out there, right? Pair of shorts, little top on, right?
Yep.
Take your time walking about, having a laugh and a joke. Oh yeah, you ain't got any mates, have you?
Yeah,
you need mates. I forgot about that.
No,
rather than go on like golfdating.com, which you'd have to do for paddle. Anyone want a game today?
I mean, golf, walking around just chasing your ball does not sound fun to me.
Honestly, it's so addictive.
It's not. It can't be. But it can.
Why don't you play a proper round of golf for me?
I don't enjoy it.
Oh, okay, fine. But you and I are
playing paddle
against
Jordan and Gabby.
Well,
they're trying to put it together, aren't they?
We can't lose that. We can't.
Well, I don't know. I know what them two are like. I have no idea what if you're good or not.
Okay, I'm good. Are
you good though?
You know my mate who's number 2 in the world, right?
Not in the world, in the UK.
Britain, I'll get him to leave a voice note during the show. I'll say, you play with me. Can you just give a brief description of what, and I'll play it on air, and then we'll hear it. And I won't hear it, you won't hear it until I press play. All right, we'll do that. We've got a busy show coming up, we really do. Should we just start the show, because we've got so much to talk about? We are going to talk, of course, about Man City, who earlier this morning were dumped out of the Club World Cup, losing 4-3 to Al Hilal after extra time. So, is there still a question mark about Pep's side ahead of the new season?
Towards that near post area, and headed in! Kalidou Koulibaly makes it 3-2 to Al Hilal. Now Shirky with the cross in, looking for Foden! Brilliant volley from Phil Foden. 3-3. It's blocked, but it's turned in! And Al Hilal lead 4-3. Can you believe this?
I can't believe what's just happened.
It's off the world. Manchester City want to get off. They are out of the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I think we all woke up this morning and didn't even remember that they were in it, or even contemplate the fact they could be knocked out of it. But defeat for Man City now means that Chelsea are the only English side left in the competition. Bernardo Silva, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden got on the score sheet. What a goal that was by Foden, by the way.
Yeah.
For Man City, and it was Marcos Leonardo's extra time winner, which saw the Saudi side cause a big old upset. And the Man City gaffer Pep Guardiola spoke after the game, discussed his side's display.
So many good things that I didn't see in the past, especially where we were, the relation between the players and our captains helps a lot, and the staff, Aguma staff, is sadness because I felt that we were happy here. We were in the training sessions, have been really good, all of them. But the level in these competitions, World Cup, and I said, yeah, the only regret a little bit, I have to review the game a little bit, is can we allow them to run a little bit more than expected.
So much to talk about. I don't know if you're aware of this, Bernardo Silva after the game gave some interesting quotes about his side's performance. He said it was all about controlling, when we lost the ball, controlling the transitions, not letting them run, and they ran away too many times with 1, 2, 3 passes. There's always a feeling of danger coming from them. When we allow teams to run like this, we always suffer a lot, and today was the case. You saw the highlights. I'm guessing you weren't up. I saw the extended highlights. I saw about 10 minutes of it this morning when I woke up. I was surprised that every time City conceded, they were literally torn apart. I mean, it was. I thought if I was a City fan, I wouldn't be too concerned because it is a pre-season friendly, right? But at the same time, all managers, not just Man City and Pep, but all managers want to win it because it brings in so much money, right? So I wouldn't be too concerned. But I was looking, if I would take their defence, right? I just think I've got their team in front of me. Without Stones and Ake, I think that the centre half pairings look a bit suspect anyway. Nori, I think, is a really good player going forward. Defensively, there are question marks. They have who's the right back? Nunes. He's not a right back.
No.
There were just if I'm a Man City fan, there are little things I'll be looking at. It's very bizarre to sit here and talk to you and I listen to millions around the world and say where Pep's going wrong. Who am I to tell Pep the mistakes he's making? But if I was Pep and I was looking at that defence, I would be thinking I don't think that's good enough at the moment to win a Premier League title. Is that nuts to say that or not? I know they've got injuries, but...
Yeah, no, because I think they were ruthless against Juventus, and I think last night they missed too many chances. The goals weren't great. I mean, the Koulibaly, it's almost like a free header, but he's massive, so that can happen. But you're right, I mean...
They were carved open. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
It just showed defensively a real lack of pace. And even when you start with almost Gundogan kind of holding as well, there's just no mobility in that kind of back defensive mind whatsoever. So
Ruben Diaz ain't the player he was.
No, I mean Ruben Diaz was a lot quicker than I thought he was. Like I used to think he was quite quick. You never used to see him get in trouble, but people run away from him last night. But I think it's just a blip. I mean, it's 4-3 years.
I know it's a friendly, right?
Yeah, it's a friendly.
But people listen to this going, what are you talking about? It's a friendly. I get that.
I think I wouldn't say it's a friendly, but it's definitely a blip because they've had their moments in this tournament where I've gone, wow, they look really good. But they've been beaten by Al Hilal, which is fair play to them. But at least Pep will have a look at his side now and go, right, they need to strengthen here. I know they've made some really good players, Shirky and Reinders coming in, Nori. But he'll now look at his team and go, right, defensively, where can we be better? I think Rodri, we don't know the extent of his injury, but obviously he's going to be a big...
What do you... Listen, you play at the highest level. What have you learned from that? What do you make of it? Coming on as something and going off...
Yeah, but he might have said he felt something and they've gone, we can't lose him again for another year. So maybe they've just gone, precautionary, get him off.
You don't think it's to do with the injury he had?
No, I hope not. You just hope not. But I think now, this at least it's given Pep an idea of, okay, this is where we need to improve. But come start a Premier League season, they will be ready because they've shown glimpses in this Club World Cup, which makes me think they're not that far away. Not at all.
Yeah, but they went through that spell. I think they, after 12 games, they lost 9 and won 1 or something like that. And they were getting carved open every single week.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we've sat here before, certainly when the Saudi Pro League started, and throughout its entirety, actually, I wouldn't say slagged it off, but we've likened it maybe to League One or even Championship level, right? That shouldn't be happening to a side like Man City.
No, but obviously a bit of fatigue as well. It's been a long season for them. I know with Al Hilal, but I mean, I look at Man City and they got beat by 4-3 last night, right? But I still look at the positives by them and think, well, like you got a Kanji coming off the bench who's decent, Ake, Rodri, Marmoush, Ryan Shirky, Foden, people like Kushinov, centre half. I actually quite like him. John Stones didn't come on. Nico Gonzalez. I mean, Nico O'Reilly's done really well. Oscar Bob. So their squad is it's thick.
Oh, without a doubt.
So I think come start of the Premier League season, game 1, they'll be ready to go.
Does that result? I think the answer is no. Does that result mean anything whatsoever as to how they'll do this season?
Well, no, it doesn't.
It's a pre-season, right?
No, it's not a pre-season, but I think Pep will just look at that game last night and the way they conceded and go, right, this is where we need to be better. That's all it is. It's not like one of those where you go, oh my goodness, crisis.
No, it's not because it
just tells you where they need to, not so much strengthen, but where the weakness is in their team, and that will all it'll be.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll hear from Man City fans. Does it mean in that game, there might be some Man City fans, that say this is a problem, this is a continuation from last season, or they'll address it like we have and just sort of it's a glorified pre-season friendly. Let's not get too excited about it.
That's just football now, isn't it? Because you look at Manchester City and we're going, oh my goodness, they've got beat by Al Hilal. Before that, they beat Juventus 5-2. Before they beat LA in 6-0. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like...
So can we read anything into that is one question. 03717223334. I've got one other question for you. So it's Chelsea, right? That look like if they're going to go all the way, it's going to be Chelsea now.
Yeah.
If Chelsea win it, are they the best team in the world? Would Chelsea fans say that? Yeah, I know they're not.
I know they're not, but they've got...
Will Chelsea fans say we're the best team in the world?
Potentially. But they will definitely will say we're the only team who's won everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Because they've won the conference last year. This new format, they win that.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of Champions Leagues in the bag.
That would be nuts, wouldn't it?
couple of Europas.
What do you think Chelsea want more? This or the conference that they won?
Ooh, it's a good question, that.
What do you think?
I don't know. Probably the conference.
Do you? Yeah. I don't. Only because it's got the word world in it.
Yeah, maybe then.
World Club Cup. So that's the question we'll ask Chelsea fans. What means more to you, this or that.
Yeah.
And we'll also ask Man City fans if last night or this morning's result means absolutely anything to you. 03717 223344. Lots coming up between now and 7. A big old section on boxing as well, but we start with football. The number again, if you want to be a part of today's show, City, Chelsea, football fans, 03717 223344.
He plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Good work, great tune. You listen to Drive on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, and Motorpoint, thousands of cars, all unbeatable prices, guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. Still to come, we'll be joined in the studio by the voice of boxing, Adam Smith, for all the latest, boxing news. Just quickly, Arsenal, get your button ready, Jack. Arsenal have confirmed the sign of Kepa. Well done, great signing. Good work. Good, Arsenal. Good, we're in the league. Well done. I'll get you over the line. Well done. No. Former Aston Villa striker John Duran is in Istanbul with a deal to join Fenerbahce on loan, close to being completed.
I don't know. He only just left Villa to go to Saudi. And I find that really bizarre. Something doesn't seem right to me because you saw
of course it doesn't. There's something happened majorly.
Big old bumper contract, and you leave after.
Would you have him?
Too right, have him.
Yeah, me too.
And he's not been. Do you know what's mad? He hasn't been there that long, so that is the tempo of football's dropped. I take him at Arsenal, yes.
Yeah, me too. I bet you can get him for. How much did you go for? 80 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem you got.
I don't know if it is because money don't mean anything to them.
But I don't know why he wants. I'd love to have a conversation. How come he's leaving there already?
So DM him, see if he come on.
Yeah.
It's day 2 Wimbledon. Watching for talkSPORT, as always, is the wonderful Lisa O'Sullivan.
Thanks, Andy. And Dan Evans is currently 6-1, 7-5, 2-1 up on fellow Brit Jay Clark in the All-British first round battle of the wild cards. We've seen Heather Watson, Jodie Burridge and George Lofthagen bow out, but Francesca Jones is a set-up against Yulia Starobdzeva of Ukraine. Now, here on centre court, we've got a match that didn't finish last night. 1-all between Arthur Rinderknecht of France and Alexander Zverev. They have just got underway in the third set. And we saw Taylor Fritz come back in the match that was held over on court number 1 to book his place in the second round. That means that court number 1 has Petra Kvitova on it. She's a 2-time champion, playing under a wild card. This is her final Wimbledon, and she's taking on the billionaire Emma Navarro of the USA.
Good work. Did you see the world record was the fastest ever serve at Wimbledon?
What was it?
How fast do you think it was?
100 and...
I'll put it on the group. You not see it?
No, 140 miles an hour.
153 miles an hour.
I supposed to even hit that back.
In fact, you didn't see this, what I put on the group there, right? If you could run, this is what I asked Meta, whatever you asked. If you could run the 100 metres at that speed, how long would it take you to finish?
I guess in there.
Yeah.
1.5 seconds.
1.4 seconds, yeah.
Did the maths in my head.
Oh, well done. Well, you saw the post I did earlier on.
No.
Should we take some calls? I think we shall. 03717223334. We're talking Man City. They were dumped out the Club World Cup last night or this morning. Does it matter?
Dumped. Not knocked out, dumped.
That's what happens, isn't it? You get dumped out. Lee's a Man City fan. Hello, Lee.
Afternoon, chaps. How are we?
Well, good, man. How are you today? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. I'm all good. Bit tired after last night, but yeah.
You stay up for it, did you? You stay up for it?
You set an alarm and got up for it, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Glutton for punishment.
Yeah, when he went to extra time, I was thanking no one.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Go on then. So, okay, the obvious question is going to be then, when the match finished and you knew you'd lost, how did you feel?
Bit of mixed feelings. I think, like some of the players have said, when you're in it, you want to win it. So it's a bit like the Charity Shield, isn't it? If you're there, you want to win it. But also recognising the fact that, look, now actually we get some weeks off, which we desperately need before the players have to come back again and start getting ready for the season. So I think there's a silver lining to it. I think we weren't as good as people wanted to make us out after we beat Juventus in the way we beat them. We're not as bad as people will make out for losing to Al Hilal last night in the tournament. But if I had two things that I'd be most worried about, based on what I've seen so far, is that I don't think we've corrected yet, and time will tell whether we get there with it from last season. Number one, we've got a goalkeeper who doesn't really dig us out of the dirt when we need it. Yeah, so we don't concede that many chances. They probably scored all 4 of the chances that they had last night, Al Hilal. Yeah. Ederson never digs us out of the mess. It used to be Kyle Walker. He used to use his speed. When we got caught on the break, he used to get back and he used to stop a chance from getting any worse before it got to the goal. Now that they're getting to the goal, Ederson never saves it. He never saves it. He's brilliant with his feet. He's not a great shot stopper. And the second thing being, we still have this issue where we've got outside forwards like Doku and like Savinio, who need 9 or 10 opportunities to get one thing right. And so we seem to be still really, really wasteful with our chances. And as long as those two things keep happening, we'll get caught out in games that we should be winning. And it happened time and time again last season, and it happened last night.
Lee, let me ask you a question then, because when you mentioned him, Kyle Walker there, do you almost feel like he was underappreciated? Because you're right, I think we saw the same for England as well. The amount of times he bails teams out with his pace, and people are saying, yeah, no, he's maybe a little bit overrated. Can you see now how much of importance he had when he was in that Man City team?
The thing is, Darren, I think City fans always loved Kyle Walker. And understood and appreciated what he could bring for us. The problem last season is you could see he'd lost a yard or two. And when he lost his superpower in that respect, all of a sudden some of his other frailties in his game came out. and that's when he started to come under it a little bit and wanted out and things like that. If you could ask me now, we could have a prime Kyle Walker back in our squad. He'd be the number one priority I would be bringing into our squad right now, because I think it's our biggest weakness.
Lee, listen, I don't want to say goodbye to you. You've been a brilliant call, but I want to take more calls. But thank you so much. Have we spoken to you before, Lee? I'm guessing we have loads of times.
Yeah, we have done a few times.
Make sure you call back, Lee. I love speaking to you.
Cheers, Andy.
Thanks,
Cheers,
man. Let's go to James, also a City fan. Hi, James.
All right, afternoon, lads.
How are you? Are you good? You well?
Yeah, all good.
Did this morning's result mean anything to you?
Not really. I think, like previous caller, I'm glad we got out now. I wouldn't have wanted to get to the final and lose it. An extra week off and a half for holiday, which is good. I think that financially it's a hit, but I think City are doing all right for money. It was clear we got cut open on the left-hand side, so we need a new right back, I think. As previous caller was saying, we're missing some pace. Kind of a new Kyle Walker would be great. And we had Reinders in midfield who got subbed off for Rodri, who got subbed off because he's injured. So there are two holding midfielders. So we're left with Gundo at the end.
You have got Nico Gonzalez as well, but he didn't.
He doesn't play him. I don't get it. He doesn't play him. We spent 50 mil on him in January. And he just doesn't play him.
Do you know what though? Pep's got this weird thing, right, where sometimes you won't see someone for a while and you go, what's happening? And all of a sudden he just throws him in, and then that's him up and away he goes. Do you know what I mean? He's got a really strange habit of doing that, but
he does both. Sometimes someone will be playing and all of a sudden you don't see him for a bit.
Don't see him for a little while. But so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But I think they're close. But I think last night just showed the real lack of pace defensively.
Who's your favourites for the Premier League right now?
Liverpool right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then City?
Then City.
Okay. Still to come, we'll be discussing what's going on at Spurs. Well, nothing at the moment. But first, it's time for No Googling Part 1. We've been talking about Man City and their exit, their dumping from the Club World Cup. We want to know. Any question, by the way, that starts with who is the only player? I love those questions. Who's the only player to score for 7 different clubs in the Premier League?
I swear we've had this.
I don't think we have. Hold on. I don't think we have, you know. Do you know the answer?
I think so.
What do you think begins with the surname?
I think there's a few in there.
No, there's one. Who's the only player? Who's the only player to score for 7 different clubs in the Premier League?
Okay. All right.
The answer to that and more, and boxing chat, all coming up after this. Live and Drive on talkSPORT.
Real shocked the world by dumping Manchester City out of the Club World Cup. But Simon Jordan's not massively impressed with the narrative that's developing around it.
It's a fabulous result for the Saudis. In the same way it was a fabulous result for the Saudi Arabians to beat Argentina in the World Cup. It's an announcement in a competition that, by the way, you and everybody else around think is a waste of time anyway. And we've listened to the backdrop of people saying they can't be bothered to be there. We've tried to psychoanalyse the motivations of the manager. We had Danny Murphy sitting in here saying the other day that Atletico Madrid couldn't care less. Now we've got people saying that people should be deeply invested. Make your bleeding minds up.
Elsewhere, day 2 of Wimbledon sees Jack Draper in action, and Nick Kyrgios has high hopes for him.
Draper's definitely a contender for Wimbledon, and in pretty much any tournament he plays. You know, he's a great athlete, big left-hander, super professional. I think that, you know, British tennis right now is in incredible form. You got a lot of good players, a lot of depth, and same can be said about the Aussie tennis. I think Aussie and British tennis right now, it's an exciting time.
But it was another Brit that caught Neil Warnock's eye yesterday.
Katie Bolt.
Oh, brilliant.
I mean, I thought some of the rallies, because she was a seeded player that she was playing, wasn't she?
Yeah, 9 seed.
I thought that the guts and determination, I thought, wow, put that into football, she'd be a hell of a player, wouldn't she?
Katie Bolter to Arsenal, anyone? Of course, she's more used to hitting balls over the net than into them, so maybe head to talksport.com for the latest on some slightly more realistic signings.
This is Joel talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent in the studio. In a moment we'll say hello to the voice of boxing. But just before we do, the answer to the question, well, clue for the answer. Great question as well. It's been driving Benny mad in the break. Who's the only player to score for 7 different clubs in the Premier League? Right, are you ready for the clues?
Go on then.
First name is you get loads of these in a book.
Pages.
Right, without the S.
Page.
Right, that's right. And his surname has got 2 clues to it. The first clue is if someone stinks.
Smell.
More
smelly.
Right, write that down. And then these grow out the ground.
Weeds.
No, big, massive they are.
Trees.
Yeah.
Page, smelly trees.
Oh, have you got
Craig Bellamy.
Yes! Good work. Time now for this.
There's a real feeling that this is the best versus the best.
White's lost control. White has lost control completely.
How many more do you want?
Lift off for AJ!
This is The Voice.
Yes! It's time for The Voice, our weekly feature where we're joined in the studio by the brilliant, the best, the voice of boxing, Adam Smith, to take a look at the week's biggest story. Smarter, looking very summery.
Good afternoon. It's hot out there.
It's too hot. It's too hot. Do you come in by tube?
I did, and it was
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been up in the Midlands today actually, seeing a fighter, Carl Davis, who's fighting on Saturday night. He's a young fighter I'm keeping an eye on, and and I wish I was at Wimbledon. That's what I really want to be this week.
Bentley was quoted $2.5 grand a seat.
I know.
All I'm going to do is surprise my dad, and that's what it quoted.
He listens to the show.
You don't want to queue up tomorrow morning, 3 o'clock?
No,
You don't care.
What I will say is that I'm up for another way in, so yeah. So hopefully if it comes through,
you're going to qualify. I think you missed that bowl. Right, we've got lots to talk to you about. Let's start off by looking back at a fight which took place at the weekend. Deontay Wilder got back to winning ways. I watched. Oh yeah, it was a bit whiffy. I watched highlights of it. I didn't watch the fight live. He just looks like I know he's an older man now. Is he 40 or he's knocking on the door of 40?
He's an old man in boxing terms, but look, I'm quite close to Deontay.
Are you?
I am. I messaged him beforehand and afterwards. We had
just pick that name up.
No. We had a connection because I commentated with him for AJ Klitschko. He came over and he spent a lot of time in Britain, in Sheffield particularly, actually. And he's a cool guy, the Bronze Bomber. And so I sort of followed all his career. And I was a little worried after the 2 fights with Parker and Zhang that I thought maybe that was it for him. But look. He's been well documented on issues he's had, and he's got through them, and he feels physically strong, and he wants to have another crack at it. And good luck to him. He didn't look amazing. He looked okay. A lot of people said that he wasn't what he was, and maybe that's right. But he'll still have that power. Biggest single puncher, I believe, since Ernie Shavers. Huge puncher. But yeah, the footwork and the hands are probably not what they once were. However, big fights lie ahead, and I'm sure he can manifest one of those before he calls it a day.
Do you know what, Smudge? When I watched the fight, he just looked really quite slow. It was quite sad because I used to love him, even though his boxing skills maybe ain't like some of the other heavyweights, but the power, what he possesses, what I loved. But he just looked quite sluggish and quite slow. And when I think about other boxers, top level heavyweights that are maybe on the decline, like he didn't even look as good as AJ in AJ's last fight. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a little bit like, do I want to see him in a fight with AJ? Because I think AJ might destroy him.
I think his legs looked shaky against Zhang. I don't think he got that balance really, the sort of pivot to create the power, and that was the worry for me as well. But look, he got the victory, and he will get a big fight. There are names out there, and AJ, of course, is the fight that's eluded us for many years, and that will still have jeopardy in it and around it. It will be a phenomenal build-up because of their personalities, and with his power, you never know. AJ will be a big favourite, but he's also coming off a shattering defeat, so maybe they need each other. Although I want Fury-Joshua to happen more than I do AJ Wilder.
Well, I know you're close to both boxers, as you just said there, but if both in their pomp, Wilder, AJ, who do you think wins up?
I think it could have been a sort of 2-1 trilogy. I really do. I think Joshua's probably more organised, better jab, better technical skills, but Wilder's devastating power, particularly when he had real momentum, was bone crushing. I mean, I remember being ringside when he knocked out Luis Ortiz in the second fight. The first fight he had trouble with Ortiz actually in New York, but in Vegas when he knocks him out in the second fight, I mean, the power you could feel at ringside was frightening. And but you've got to have everything around you to be able to do that, to be able to land that shot. You've got to be able to still have that technique and have the legs and I mean, he doesn't lose his punch, but he probably has lost his mobility.
We've got Eddie on just after 6 o'clock actually, so I'll ask him his view on that, because he after the fight he did sort of come out and almost tease us with the prospect of that AJ fight happening against Deontay Wilder. I'll ask him the question, do you think it will happen?
We're seeing Eddie later. He's got a big event tonight, which will be fun.
By the way, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I think it's a sort of rebrand or a refire of Matchroom. I think
that's what it is. Okay.
I think it's something to.
No one really knows, do they?
No, that's what it looks like. It looks like they're taking a sort of a step up, or I don't know. I think it was it 1987 where it was branded, and I don't know. I've seen the promotional stuff today, and
they don't let a lot away, do they?
No, it's something. It's some new Matchroom look or something. I think.
So we've got Smudge. I don't even know.
You don't even, I mean, you almost convinced us that you did, but you know as much as we do.
No, I think it's going to be really exciting, though. I mean, hopefully it'll be good fun, and it'll be great seeing Eddie.
So we'll ask Eddie when he comes on. But
will AJ Wilder happen in December? That's what you're going to ask me.
Or at all? Do you think?
I think AJ Wilder could happen in December. Why not?
Okay.
I mean, Bivol Betebiev is the fight that's been sort of marked out for the trilogy, marked out for December. And I said to Simon and Spencer yesterday, why don't they put them together? AJ Wilder and Bivol Betebiev together would be a phenomenal end to the year, wouldn't it?
That's the best fight I've seen in the last 10 years. Up.
Get your dad tickets for that.
The second fight.
The both fights in terms of concentration.
The rematch was even better.
That was frightening, wasn't it?
That is what you call two boxers at the absolute.
But that's because you love boxing. You're a trade connoisseur. I think to the casual audience, they still don't really know how good Bivol and Betebiev are. Or they want Fury and AJ, for example, or Eubank Ben.
Yeah, may I understand that.
Watch those two fights.
Well, it's interesting you say
and
that.
You learn.
It's interesting you say about what boxing fans want, Because do they want Jake Paul?
Yes. There's certainly an element to do.
You're a boxing purist, right? How do you view someone like that?
Well, I am a boxing purist and I've loved it since I was a kid, but I also like change and innovation, and I think my kids have taught me that. And when we were charged with a possibility of doing KSI and Logan Paul at Sky, it was like, really? Do we want to go down the YouTube world? And what about the other fighters? And it was a tough one, and the team was sort of split on it. But I ended up working all week, went to LA to Staples Center for that fight, and I just love Logan and KSI. I thought they were brilliant. I thought they were intelligent. I think they've chosen our sport. They're not the best. They're fine. They're well matched. It was great, and I like the misfits. They've got a place for it. Jake Paul's interesting because is Jake Paul a real fighter or is he a YouTube star? Well, he's a YouTube star who wants to prove he's a real fighter. He is a real fighter. He's had boxing fights. He's put the gloves on. I've got respect for anybody that gets in the ring. Has he carefully, some would say manipulated, but steered his way through? Of course he has. He's a very, very bright guy. But I think he's going to find himself at some point in a world title shot. And I think that's...
Oh, don't say that.
Yes.
That'd be dreadful.
He's been ranked in the top 15 today. And I think it...
Oh, by who? Which
the WBA. And Zerdo Ramirez is their champion, who fought on the same card.
Don't you think that's terrible?
I think if you fought Zerdo Ramirez tomorrow, we all know the result. But...
Yeah, but he fought one boxer in Tommy Fury and lost.
Yes.
He shouldn't be ranked. I mean, I honestly think that's disgusting.
Julio Cesar Chavez was a boxer. Some would say not very good.
I know, but if I
watch him get beat up by Sergio Martinez.
I'll tell you what it is, though, right?
His father was a million times better.
If I took on John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg and Ivan Lendl, I wouldn't beat them. But I beat them, I wouldn't expect Wimbledon to turn around and give me a ranking from AJ. It would be insane if that happened. If I beat Jimmy Connors in 2 weeks' time and I'm taking everyone's money because I beat Jimmy Connors who's like 75, and I'm going, one day I'm going to win Wimbledon. People go, what are you talking about?
I get it.
They don't say that with him in boxing.
Andy, I get it. Spencer Oliver was fuming yesterday. He was saying absolutely right that Jake Paul should not have a top 15 ranking. It's a disgrace. It's unfair on the other fighters. And while the other fighters work extraordinarily hard to get themselves in those positions, Jake Paul brings money and business and, to a certain crowd and audience, a younger generation, entertainment. That's the way it's gone.
Do you know, my only concern with that is that he's going to put himself in a situation where he gets himself hurt. Because the guys who he's fought so far, older Mike Tyson, I understand that. But if he gets in there with a prime boxer of a decent level, that's my concern.
Like the Tyson fight. 58-year-old Mike Tyson should not have been there. I didn't like it as an event. Great. Netflix, wonderful. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, brilliant. I'm just glad they got out. It was an exhibition. It was a bit of an exhibition on Saturday night as well. Yeah. But Jake Paul's story moves on. It is all about the story. Will he get hurt? Well, what I said about KSI and Logan Paul, well matched. You've got to keep him well matched. The trouble is, we don't know quite how good he could be or can be. I think Tommy Fury was probably, as you said, the leveler, but he's training hard. He's still fighting, and he's at the moment, in quotes, winning.
But here's why I think he makes a mockery of the sport. So who's ranked number one in the cruiserweight division at the moment by the WBO? Did you say?
No, so Ramirez is the champion,
Right, okay.
WBA champion, and the fight we want to see is Ramirez against Joao Pataia to clean up a cruiserweight. They are a mile ahead of.
Let's just say they have that fight and Joao Pataia wins it. Right? He'll be ranked number one.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's the best boxer on the planet.
Correct.
Okay. Are you telling me right now that Jake Paul is the 15th best?
No.
Imagine you put.
That's why it's from my mind. He makes a mockery of it.
He's not, but he's got that position.
He shouldn't have it. He's fought. No, imagine that. He's ranked 50 in the world and he's not fought a boxer. I mean, when you write that down on a piece of paper, it's
Tommy
insane.
Fury would argue with you, although Tommy Fury has
I'll change it. He's ranked 50 in the world and he fought one boxer a few years back and lost.
And a very, very ancient Mike Tyson. Of course, there's, as I said, it's been very well either manipulated or steered, and Jake Paul is a huge attraction. But what I do like is that he's promoting the all-women's fight in a couple of weeks in New York. In fact, a couple of weeks next week and a half, I'll be out there. It's going to be fantastic. Eddie Taylor Serrano, you've got Savannah Marshall, Chantel Cameron, Ellie Scottney. It's brilliant. Ramla Ali's on. It's fantastic for
that sort of thing's great.
And he's promoting that, but he also promotes himself.
If he's going,
I understand
if he's going for a world title shot though, and for instance he gets Joao Pataia, he is finished.
Oh, but hang on, would you watch it?
I would watch it, right? Hold on.
I'd watch the first minute.
But here's the thing. When I'm driving down the road and all of a sudden all the cars slow down because something's happening on the other side, I watch that as well, right? You understand the analogy? Do you know what I mean? I watch stuff that you shouldn't necessarily watch, but you watch it because people are talking about it. It doesn't make it right.
No, and I love fair matchups in boxing. We had a fantastic 50-50 fight with Shaq Peters and Brad Ray for the European title on Saturday in Hull. They did not stop. The action was unbelievable. It was proper. It was fantastic. Unfortunately, I know about Shaq Peters and Brad Ray, but the general public, they know about Jake Paul.
Okay, look, we've got to go to a break, but I'm going to ask you a horrible question. You have to answer with a yes or no.
Go on.
One day, would you like to see Jake Paul champion of the world?
No.
Take the break.
No. Would you like it?
Would I like it?
Would you like to see it?
I've seen everything in boxing.
Would you like to see it?
I've seen everything in boxing. I mean, absolutely yes.
Get out.
He plays that villain role very well now. It's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
This is Drive talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent. We had to let Adam Smith go. He was talking. No, he's still here. Of course, he's still here. And Motorpoint new car with same-day drive-away available on all cars. Book a test drive today. Still to come, we'll be asking whether Erling Haaland is a top 10 striker in the Premier League. And we've done our top 5 Davids of all time. I mean, you can work out what mine is. Just quickly, Liverpool demanding somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 million pounds for Harvey Elliott should he wish to leave the club. Boxing chat continues in a moment, but of course, he stayed to Wimbledon. Watching for talkSPORT is Lisa O'Sullivan.
Well, we've just seen the first British win of the day going to Dan Evans, 6-1, 7-5, 6-2 over Jay Clark. And that means he could be taking on Novak Djokovic next if the 7-time champion beats Alexander Muller later. Fran Jones is heading into a third set against Yulia Stardubtseva of Ukraine. We've seen 3 of the top 10 seeds go out in both the men's and the women's draw now after Zhang Qinwen of China was dispatched and Lorenzo Musetti in the men's draw. And from Petra Kvitova on court number 1, struggling at the moment against Emma Navarro. It will be the 2-time champion's final Wimbledon. Will her final match be on court number 1?
Good work as always. Thank you for that, Lisa. Right, our boxing chat continues. Adam Smith, the voice of boxing, with us in the studio. Adam, let's talk about a fight at the weekend. Sees Jack Catterall take on Harlem Eubank in Manchester. I find it's a fascinating fight. We've been lucky enough to have Harlem in the studio about 2 or 3 times.
Nice guy.
Really nice guy, and I always think that when you're fighting under a name, a family name that is synonymous with the sport, there's a bit more pressure on you as well. But from what I've seen of him, he's got his own style and looks quite a talented young fighter.
Both of them are great guys, and both of them are very humble. And it's a wonderful stylistic matchup as well. Jack Catterall, smooth southpaw with his rhythm. He's moving up in weight. That's the test for him, and he's coming off a close defeat to Arnold Barboza Jr. So Jack needs a win. He's got home advantage in Manchester, but I think the Sowlands, the Harlem Eubank backers, have taken they've rolled the dice. They've taken the risk, and I think it's a good one to take. Harlem's got no pressure on his shoulders. He's in real form. He's getting better and better. He's come up the sort of quiet way, away from the sort of pomp or the name of the Eubank, almost, forging his own path. And I think he deserves this opportunity, and I think it's a really good fight. I think if Catterall gets into a rhythm early, I think it could be tough for Harlem. But I think if Harlem can just disrupt that, I think it's a really, really good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. I think July is possibly the best month of the year for boxing. It's fantastic. Next week, as we mentioned earlier, the Katie Taylor Serrano All-Women's Night in Madison Square Garden. The next night, you've got Hamza Shiraz and Belanga and Shakur Stevenson, and then the week after, it's Usyk Dubois. Then we're down in Bournemouth for a fantastic trade fight with Reece Bellotti and Ryan Garner. It's a really, really good month for boxing. Clarissa Shields also on this month. There's so much. And I like this fight. I think it's a great start to July. It's a big matchroom show. The return of Sky Nicholson as well on the card. I think it's a really, really good night, and I like it as a main event. I think all the main events in the last few weeks have been really good. I think that the UK is being... Well, it's a fantastic sort of hotbed for boxing at the moment. I mean, I can't remember which I've enjoyed most, sort of Echo Esserman, Josh Taylor, or Fabio Wardley's win in Ipswich, or, as I said last week, Brad Ray and Shakan Pitters. What else have we had? We've had Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen. We had Anthony Kakache beating Lee Wood in Nottingham. Great audiences, great crowds, atmospheres. Terrific top of the bill fights and good supports as well. I like the Matchroom and Queensbury competitive rivalry on the zone. I think it's fantastic, and week in, week out, we're being treated to really, really good fights.
Do you know? Sorry, just quickly. Sorry, Andy. Quick. You said Clarissa Shields. Who's she fighting next? Because I mean, she's one of my favourite boxers.
She went up to heavyweight.
Wow.
She went up to heavyweight.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So she's.
Can I ask? The weight divisions in the women's game are different.
They're not different. They are. No, so like a super middleweight is 12 stone. It's the same.
So heavyweight for a woman is heavyweight for a man?
I'm not sure about cruiserweight for all. Well, there's not many heavier women at that at that elite level. So most of the women are on the the lighter side, the lightweights, the welterweights. There are middleweights, super middleweights, Savannah Marshall, up to light heavy. Beyond that, it's a sort of big gap, I think. So it's like they're very, very small heavyweights.
Okay.
But yeah, Clarissa Shields gone up there, won another division. the GWOAT, or the self-claimed GWOAT.
Why is she not a superstar, Smudger? Because she should be a superstar.
Well, people argue Katie Taylor is. I mean, whoever it's what you like, isn't it? I think Clarissa is her. I mean, she's brilliant. She's a great character. I don't know if you remember, but she came over and fought in Cardiff once, and she was sort of wandering around the town centre in these big red slippers with her. She's just funny, and she's a great fighter. And of course, she beat Savannah, who beat her. Savannah's the only fighter that ever beat Clarissa Shields in the amateurs. She had a very, very tough upbringing, Clarissa Shields, and she found boxing, and she's been amazing. Why isn't she a superstar? It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe she came slightly early for the boom in female boxing, but now she should be. Now everyone should be sort of getting behind her. I guess it's maybe the lack of opposition. They couldn't get the Marshall. That's what they wanted to do. The amateur fight, the first fight with Clarissa and Savannah as pros. They wanted the second fight. They're talking even about going into the PFL and doing it in the cage, because Savannah had a cage fight, which was brilliant. Actually, it was a 1-round win, but it was fantastic to see. And look, I don't know. Clarissa should be a massive star. I think she's one of the greatest fighters, full stop, male or female, to ever lace them up.
I love the way you used the phrase "quote." I thought you were just taking the mickey out of how I talk.
No.
Quote. I've never heard that before. Greatest woman of all time.
Yeah, she has the chain around.
Quote.
Yeah, quote.
She is incredible.
Incredible.
She beat up Savannah Marshall badly.
She is incredible. Savannah's brilliant.
Yeah,
she's incredible.
You're brilliant. You're incredible. Thanks so much for coming in. You're off to Matchroom now, whatever it's going to be rebranded as.
I don't know. I've no idea. Maybe it's going to be.
What's it called?
I thought you knew more than I do.
I don't think anyone knows.
Don't you?
It feels like they don't even know themselves till they get there.
I don't know. Eddie used to tell me everything when we worked together, and now we do work together, but in a slightly different way. So
keeps the cards close to his chest.
Very close. Yeah. So we'll see, but it'll be great. It's a Matchroom event. It'll be fun. It'll be big screens, entertainment.
Where is it going?
Somewhere in Marble Arch, I think.
Oh, okay. So. Well, just when you see Eddie, remind him not to be late for 6 p.m. That's when we've booked him in.
Okay. I think you'll see. I think you'll get to him first.
Oh, okay, good. Nice. In the back of his Bentley.
And then you can call me up and tell me what I'm getting ready.
Always a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming in. When we come back, we're talking about Spurs, their lack of transfer activity. Tottenham fans, are you worried? And what's a good finish under your new manager? 03717 2233 Tottenham chat right after this, live on Drive.
Pep Guardiola says it's time for Man City to rest and reset their minds after they were dumped out of the Club World Cup. He believes his side are still doing well, but Danny Mills isn't so sure. The former City defender has told talkSPORT Pep must tighten up at the back ahead of next season after they were exposed against Al Hilal.
Defences win titles, strikers win your matches. Yeah. Simple as that. You know, to win the Champions League, to win a league, you have to have a fabulous defence as well as a great attack. City haven't had that. You know, Liverpool were, superb last season defensively.
Well, some reckon the result is a clear signal that Saudi clubs are successfully climbing the global football ladder. But what does Simon Jordan think?
It's a moment in time. It's a moment in time when the Saudi Arabians beat Argentina at the World Cup, who went on and won the World Cup, the Argentinians. And so you look at this result in isolation and say, yeah, it's a shot in the arm. The Saudis will take enormous pleasure from this. It's a tournament to some extent that's being backed by the Saudis. And of course, Infantino would be snivelling up to them instantaneously by saying the new era of football has definitely started. Yeah. Because he knows where his bread's buttered.
Elsewhere this afternoon, Jack Draper is getting his Wimbledon charge started, and Nick Kyrgios has backed him to go all the way.
I think Draper's got more than a chance to win Wimbledon. I think making that semi-finals of the US Open last year, I think he's got the confidence underneath him now. Sebastian Baez is not going to be an easy task though. It's a tough first round. Sebastian makes a lot of balls, so Jack Draper's going to have to lock in early, which is good. It's going to have to lock him early, and then maybe it's going to it will give Draper the confidence to really think he can win Wimbledon for sure.
Well, it follows a record-breaking opening day at Wimbledon for home players. 7 across the men's and women's draw made the second round. That's the most successful day for British players at the tournament in the Open era. One of them, Katie Boulter, was even praised by Neil Warnock.
Some of the rallies, because she was a seeded player that she was playing, wasn't she?
Yeah, 19.
And I thought that the guts and determination, I thought, wow, put that into football, she'll be a hell of a player.
There's plenty more at talksport.com.
Welcome back to round number 2, Drive and talkSPORT. I'm here, Andy Goldstein. Darren's here as well.
You're not supposed to touch it.
Pardon? What else is... You're this. Yeah, look, dumped.
Yeah.
Dumped at the top of the show. That's you, Jack. You're a disgrace. Still to come, me and Betty giving out top 5 Davids in the Premier League. I can't wait 2 hours when I have to write that dump down. Why did you dump it? Just gone 5. You're a disgrace, Jack. But now, despite winning the Europa League and appointing Thomas Frank as the new gaffer, it's been a quiet start to the window for Spurs. So, is it time to back their new manager?
It's all good going buying players for the future. Don't be wrong, I do feel you've got to buy it, but then you've got to go buy players that will come in right now and make you win.
Not a bad delivery, and steered in by Kudus.
Just because you've got Champions League football, it doesn't mean your club is in a great place.
Here is Eze, edge of the area, right-footed shot, slams it in.
I think he might go to Spurs if he leaves the great Crystal Palace.
linked with a move for Kudus from West Ham, but deals for Eberechi Eze and Brian and Buemo. Are you in Buemo or on Buemo?
I'm in Buemo.
Okay, I'm in Buemo as well, but a lot of people call him Boomer recently. Anyway, they look very unlikely at the moment with him, Boomer and Buemo set to join Manchester United. Oh, I don't know how true that is. In fact, Spurs only made their loan deals for Matthias Tell and Kevin Danso permanent, as well as spending £11 on the 18-year-old centre-back from Hajduk Split. Now, Heung-min Son, Christian Romero and Richarlison are some of the players who have been linked away from the club as well. Listen, Spurs have got Champions League football, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need to strengthen.
Yep.
I've mentioned a few players that look like either they're going or they're not as good as they were. Heung-min Son being one of them. What a brilliant captain, a great servant to the club. But
slow down a bit.
His best days are behind him. Are you surprised by the lack of noise at Tottenham and their transfer activity?
A little bit. I know they've been linked to Eberechi Eze, which is another one. If they could get him over the line, fantastic. But now Arsenal are in for him, which is I'm happy about.
Hold on, have you just signed Kepa? Just signed Kepa, haven't you, Jack?
But you've got also.
Go on, 5 million. Go on, Kepa. Go on, get a new goalkeeper in. Don't get us over the line. No, got Kepa. Who's the other one you got? There's another jokey one. Who's it? Go on, tell me who it is.
No,
anyway.
There's no jokey ones. We're serious football.
Who's the other one?
No, there ain't one. Anyway, I've lost my whole train of thought here. You've killed me here. But no, Spurs. Yeah, so I think if Spurs could have got him over the line, and Buemo obviously has been linked because Thomas Frank's there. But you need more than what you got. You look at what happened last season, and I know they were decimated by injuries. What you need to is strengthen the squad so these things don't happen again. So if you do lose all these players, you've got ones that are equally, maybe not equally, but you've got depth there. We saw some players last season play probably more minutes than they thought they would. People like Archie Gray, I thought was brilliant last year.
Playing a lot of games out of position.
Yeah, I thought he played really well. But they need to bring in some additions. They're in the Champions League now as well, so you can have midweekers, play a lot of games on Sunday. I know they're used to that because they did it last year, but I think the worrying thing is you've got people like Son, who has been outstanding but has started to slow down. But even people like Romero, like he's been linked to Atletico Madrid. Like I don't understand why he'd want to stay at Tottenham now because he's won a trophy there. Like they finished fourth bottom last year, was not good enough.
He was out as well.
I think and if you think about his personality and how he's on the pitch, the club that suits him more than any team on the planet is Atletico Madrid.
100%.
So,
nasty.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's an interesting time, but we often have Spurs fans coming on our show all the time talking about Daniel Levy doesn't invest and doesn't back the manager. Pochettino gets into a Champions League final. The following season, don't back him. He loses his job. They've just won a trophy. They've then sacked the manager. Doesn't look like they're backing Thomas Frank. It's a really interesting...
Sorry, just come back to it. You're saying it doesn't look like they're backing the manager then?
Well, at the minute it doesn't. Like, I'm sure Thomas Frank's got a list of players and going, listen, I need these players.
Do you think when he went for the interview at Spurs, he would have said to them, how much money have I got to spend? Do they have that conversation?
I mean, I don't. The conversations I've had with managers, they always say that, listen, the owners sometimes they'll never really give you the exact figure. They'll go, there'll be money to spend, but you never quite know how much that means. So for Thomas Frank going into this job, he would have looked at he'd have played against them a couple of times last season. He would have seen how they got on last season. He'd watched footage from the start of the season to how they finished the season, and he'll know they need reinforcements all over the pitch. But surely you're going to have to back him now. You go all out to sack Ange, who won you a trophy, and bring Thomas Frank in because you believe he's the right man.
Yeah.
You have to give him every single possibility to succeed. Because we spoke about it in the meeting. If they finish 10th this season...
Say it properly.
10th, right?
10th.
Would the Spurs fans look at Thomas Frank and go...
Great question.
Like, job well done.
Great question.
And the answer to that is no. You'd go, what, you're 10th? Okay, well...
Say it properly.
10th. Was that right?
10th.
Would that be a job well done? Probably not. I know they finished fourth bottom, but they've won a trophy.
Yeah, I just don't know what the main priority is for Tottenham fans, and I say that because I don't know what it is for the owner.
Yeah,
right. They won a trophy.
Well, no, the owner will be saying we need to be back in Europe again.
I know, but here's the thing with Spurs, right, and a whole host of clubs which are second tier clubs, right? They're not in the top. Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal at the moment. Yeah. Man United aren't in that bracket either, by the way.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Well, they're not. They're not at the moment, right? They're not. I'm just being honest. They're not. Man United are not going to win the Premier League this season. Right?
But you could turn yours around very quick because you're Manchester United.
You think so, right? Okay, but Spurs are certainly in the second tier,
right?
And I always wonder, from an owner's perspective, realistically, if you know you're not going to win the Prem, and you're probably not going to get top 5, right?
But that's the thing. You were top 5 last year, not last year, the year before.
Yeah. I don't know what the priority is for Daniel Levy.
Well, he'll want to be in the Champions League. That's fact.
I know he wants, but realistically,
he'll think that's realistic.
What, 5th and no trophy?
Yeah,
I think 10th and trophy is more realistic for Spurs. 10th in FA Cup or 10th in League Cup is more realistic, I think, than top 5 for Spurs.
So if they finish 10th and win the League Cup,
I think that's an amazing season.
Yeah, I mean, it's more silverware. You're building on that winning mentality, but Daniel Levy will still look at that. And Thomas Frank won't lose his job for doing that. But Daniel Levy will go, okay, we've won another trophy, but 10th.
No. I think if Thomas Frank finishes 9th or 10th, or 11th, right, 9, 10, 11, and wins the League Cup, unbelievable season.
Yeah, I still don't think Daniel Levy will be happy with that.
Oh, yeah, they're moving forward. They've gone up the league, won another trophy. Well, 2 trophies in 2 years.
Yeah, but he'll still be like, I get it. It's good enough. No, it's not. It's good, okay, but it's not where we need to be next year.
What realistically, you think Daniel Levy thinks that they're good enough to get top 4, top 5?
If they went, I think Daniel Levy would think if they finish 5th.
Yeah.
No, if they finished 10th and won the League Cup, he'd go brilliant for this season. But then now that's 2 trophies in 2 years. Next season, get back in that top 5.
Okay. Do you think this will never happen? But I'm curious as to your thought. Right, this will never happen. If Spurs finish the season 10th and won the League Cup, and next season finish 9th and won the FA Cup, do you think he'd be sacked?
No, it can't be.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
But you say that, but your boy did that and got sacked too.
I know, but Man United's different. I think for Spurs, mid-table and start winning trophies is so important.
Yeah, but they're not a middle of the road club, man. It's a big old club, man. Big stadium, great training ground, great players, man. Good history. Can't, man.
Let's take a call. I want to take loads. Paul is a Spurs fan. Hi, Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
Great, man. How are you? You all right? You enjoying the weather?
Yeah. You are?
Are you enjoying the weather?
Oh, I've been working outside today. I think I've lost about 2 stone.
Oh, God. What do you do for a living?
That and the stress of supporting Tottenham.
Oh, dear. Well, go on. Are you surprised you're not turning on talkSPORT in the morning and hearing that your manager or your club have bought 2-3 players in this window yet? I mean, no one's coming. I mentioned the players that you had on loan and you've signed on a permanent, but nothing's really happening at your club, is it, at the moment?
I was last week. I mean, I was a bit frustrated by it. The Eze thing for me is... it seemed to be like they're in communication and that, and then it just suddenly goes flat, and then you see Arsenal come through. For me, I look at it as the typical Levy. He has to wait till the beginning of July because he gets an extra year on PSR. So if he had done a deal on the 30th of June, he's a year short with the finances. He does it on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of July. He's got an extra year to play with. That's typical Levy. My biggest concern is Johan Langer is what he did at Villa when he was doing the transfers there. They were 15th. They were struggling. He did nothing really for them. And he's coming to Tottenham and we're buying kids. Yes, he's always looked at the future, but we need those ready-made players. I mean, Danzo I'm quite happy with. Tell 19 has got real potential. And I think we need a Kudos, we need an Eze, we need a couple of big names, and I think Romero, his time's up. I think Romero does deserve to go to Atletico Madrid. I think after the Wolves away game last season, where he just stormed down the tunnel, that's not the behaviour of a captain, and where we're struggling. So I think from a Tottenham perspective, that's where we want to be.
Do you know what? It's a great call, Paul, right? But it's one of those where you see he's talked about Romero leaving, and I can understand what he's talking about. But I'm surprised that someone comes to Van der Ven. Now, I'm not quite sure how good Van der Ven is. I like him, but I'm only basing this off of the fact that whenever people have tried to run in behind him, he's managed to catch them. That's what I'm basing his defending on. That he's good. He's a good defender. But I almost think about if you're a Pep Guardiola and you're looking at the lack of pace in your team, backline.
Yeah, I agree.
And you look at Van der Ven now. I understand you might look at Van der Ven and go, I'm not quite sure he is, but with the coaching of someone like a Pep, and you put Van der Ven with that pace in that team where they don't have to defend that much. I know they've been caught out.
Pace with Kyle Walker,
right? Van der Ven. I'm shocked no one's gone, do you know what? We'll take a chance on him.
But that happens a lot with Spurs players, right? Heung-min Son.
Never linked.
Unbelievable player, never linked to a big move. Why is that?
No, who knows? But the only thing that might off-put certain clubs about Van der Ven, obviously it's going to cost you a lot of money to get him, is the hamstrings, man. Because his hamstrings need to go ping all the time.
Yeah.
But then it might not be the case because he's not being asked to Usain Bolt every time and he gets run back.
With such a high line. Yeah. Interesting. Tottenham chat, when we come back, 03717223344. How much work do Spurs need to do in the window? What are you going to say?
No, I just read something about John Duran. Was offered to your club and you said no.
I'm sorry. Oh, you just read stuff out from people?
No,
who said that?
talkSPORT.
I wouldn't trust that website.
Yeah, talkSPORT.
When was that?
Just now, about 3 minutes ago.
It offered to... Who's that, Cookie?
Oh,
just seen a picture of him. He looks like he's had about 18 glasses.
John Duran, you said no.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true.
I'll take him.
Yeah, I'll take him.
Offer him to Arsenal.
50?
No,
Hold on, you say offer him to Arsenal. Jack, haven't they just signed Kepa for £5 million?
Oh, no.
Go on, Kepa.
plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally, and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
One of the nicest people you could ever.
Why is that, mate?
Darren Bent at Motorpoint. Thousands of cars. I love Darren Bent. Thousands of cars with unbeatable prices guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. Still to come on Darren Bent's show. We'll be having some fun with the best in talkSPORT. Just quickly, Aston Villa are the latest club to be interested in Forest Anthony Elanga.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, a good signing. Elanga, good player. Good player. I mean, Ralph Rangnick was the one who gave him his debut, wasn't it? Liked him. I think there was a last connection there.
Wreck-It Ralph, yeah.
But no, good player, Langer.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the state United now. I mean,
I don't think getting. I mean, we've got what's his name, Ahmed, right?
Good player,
great player.
I like him. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I know we've got to go tennis with Ahmed, right? A lot of United fans will look at Ahmed and go, "He's a really good player."
But
but why is that?
But you know what? It almost feels like.
I know it says that. Is it his height?
No, I don't know if it's his height, right?
What is it? He seems to have everything.
But you're right. People, Man United fans, who I know as well, will go, "Oh, I love Ahmed." But, like, we can find better. So it's almost like he's good to a point, but they're still looking for the next.
He's better than that.
Yeah.
Right? He's a really, really good player.
Well, he's probably one of the only players, I believe, that when Amorim came in, he went, "Do you know what? I'm going to get behind this manager. I'm going to roll my sleeves up. Whatever position you put me into play, I'm going to do it to the best as I can." And I think he was outstanding last year.
I think he's a brilliant player.
Other than Bruno, he was your best player.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Where does it... When Cunha and Buemo come in, right? Where's he go?
Well, I like him as a 10, but you've got so many players that... I look at Bruno. You've got Mason Mount there, who showed his flashes. Yeah. I like Cunha as a 10. I don't like him as my
I agree. I totally agree with that. We'll talk Spurs in just a moment. You're going to have your say by picking up the phone 03717 223344. But of course, the second day of Wimbledon when it's truly underway. Watching for talkSPORT is Lisa O'Sullivan.
Keeping an eye on centre court, right in front of me, Arthur Rinderknecht of France leading Alexander Zverev 2-1. This is a match that was held over from last night when the curfew kicked in, and it is 2 games all in the 4th set. We've seen 3 of the top 10 seeds in both the men's and the women's draws go out. Now we've seen defending champion Barbora Krejcikova come from behind to make round 2. The world number 1 Jannik Sinner safely through in straight sets, a 108-minute win. And Taylor Fritz finished what he started last night to book his place in. As far as the Brits go, Dan Evans is through potentially to play Novak Djokovic in the next round. But defeats today for Johannes Monday, Heather Watson, Jodie Burridge, Jay Clark, George Lofhagen. Fran Jones is battling, but she's 5-1 down in the decider against Yulia Starobutseva, and Jack Draper will be taking to court 1 fairly shortly, I think, as Emma Navarro is about to beat Petra Kvitova.
Good work as always, thank you for that. Here's a question for you, Benny. In the world of tennis, right? World number 1 is who in men's?
Jannik Sinner.
Okay, do you reckon you could...
Alcaraz, one of the 2.
I say Alcaraz, right? Do you reckon you could return one of his serves?
Yeah, second serve, not first.
Not first serve?
No.
You don't? You reckon you could return second serve?
Yeah.
Do you?
I think you'd be lucky to swing the racket at the second serve and just get it in. But first serve, absolutely
you got no chance?
No.
No, I agree with you.
I'm trying to think of some of the big... So, Greg Rosetsky was a big server.
Yeah, massive.
Do you remember what's his name? Goran Ivanisevic.
Yeah.
His serve was ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, Wimbledon he did.
Once, yeah.
Yeah. I think he was... It was a qualifier. Wild card, wasn't he?
Who's your favourite tennis player?
That's a great question. Oh, that's a great question. I'll go back further than you.
My rogue, I've got 3, so 1, 2, 3.
That's unbelievable. Favourite?
My favourite's Novak.
Novak Djokovic, yeah.
Second would probably be Feds.
Yeah.
Right. Third, Patrick Rafter.
What you put him in?
I used to love watching him play.
Patrick Rafter?
Long hair. Yeah.
I'll tell you, mine different era.
Go on.
Jimmy Connors.
Yeah.
Andre Agassi.
Yeah, Agassi was a legend.
And I'm going to chuck in, who I love watching. Becker was great. Boris Becker.
Yeah.
But I'll probably I'm going to chuck in Stefan Edberg.
He was a footballer, wasn't he? Played for Bayern, didn't he? Wait, when he Bayern captain? He was, wasn't he?
That was at Effenberg.
Was he?
Stefan Edberg.
Yeah, decent.
He just had one year he turned up with his top on. It was unbelievable. I'll show it to you in the break. Because all tennis players at Wimbledon, just white, right? And Adidas, who's sponsor, they come up with this psychedelic top with his initials in. No one knew it was his initials till a year later. People went, "Is that an S and an E?" And it was part of the design. It was so cool. Do you know, in this break, I'm going to go on eBay see if I can buy one.
Do you know what's funny, right?
They're amazing.
You had to see this. I remember being not last time, but I remember being at Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And watching Agassi's. I was there for Agassi's last game at Wimbledon, where he got beat. I'm pretty sure some of you have to check this.
Yeah.
By Rafa Nadal. Me and my dad was there watching that.
Okay.
What
he's a little favourite. So when are we getting what's his name?
Nick Kyrgios.
When is Kyrgios coming on our show? Is it tomorrow? Right, tomorrow, right? He's coming on. I'm going to ask him this question. So I think it's in Agassi's autobiography, he claims that when he was receiving serves from Boris Becker, are you aware of this?
No.
That Boris Becker would, whatever side of Boris Becker's mouth Boris Becker's tongue would be, was where he was putting the ball in the service box.
Yeah.
So if he was serving and his tongue was on the left, he's going far left. And if he right and go right. And for years, this is how he returned his serve. And he told him that afterwards, and Becker couldn't believe it. I want to find out if that's true.
How would
I don't even think you could see your opponent's tongue. I know Jackson said it's true, but I know he said it, Jack. But I just don't think you can see your opponent's tongue from the other end of the court. Do you?
I don't know.
A little tongue.
It's a bit far away, that.
Yeah.
Unless he's doing that. Do you know what I mean? Unless he's free. Do you know what I mean?
Like the cartoons. He's licking his racket. Oh, he's got lefties now.
Because if someone said that, you're not seeing that.
That's what he said. A little like that. Like his old tongue falling out. If you go to the phone lines, the Spurs lines, Marcus is a Spurs fan. Hello, Marcus.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Marcus, do you reckon it's possible to see your opponent's tongue from the other end of a tennis court?
As you said, depends how big his tongue is, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I can't see that in a million years.
But as you said, Agassi was a great player anyway, so he's one of my favourites.
Yeah,
so,
have you read his book?
Oh, yeah, definitely. In fact, him and McEnroe, the only two tennis players' books I've read up until now.
Oh, McEnroe?
Yeah. I'm from that era.
You can't be serious.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely serious, mate.
You can't be serious.
Yeah, I'm serious. Don't worry about that.
What, McEnroe's book?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know.
Oh, right,
Goodness for that.
Could have gone for days, that one. Right, Spurs fan, what's going on at your club? Because you can't be serious that you're not buying anyone yet.
Well, that's when you got the great man Daniel Levy in charge. Only he knows what he wants. Only he knows what he's doing. Because end of the day, most Tottenham fans will be happy with this. You keep saying League Cup and top 10. Why don't you give us FA Cup and top 10? Because FA Cup gets you back into Europe, and we ain't going to, as I said to your producer, we ain't going to win the Premier League. We're not going to win the Champions League. And all this nonsense about you're in it to win it, well, not for most teams. You're in it just to get the money out of it, really, ain't you? So with Thomas Frank first season, I'll be happy with a top 10 and FA Cup.
Yeah, that's a good season. Do you know what, Marcus? I think that'd be a great season if you win the FA Cup. And I think for Spurs, if you back that up with 2 trophies, that's and especially the FA Cup. I'm not disrespecting the League Cup. I'm not saying that, but
no. But the reason I went League Cup is it's the lesser of the two.
Yeah, but FA Cup. Oh my goodness,
that's unbelievable. Yeah, Stevie's a Spurs fan. Steve-O.
How are we doing, guys? All right?
Great, man. How are you today?
I'm brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Obviously, it's nice and sunny in Scotland, so I'm more than happy with that.
Oh, that's nice. You're a Spurs fan. What do you want to say about your club?
I think Frank will be at the door by Christmas, mate, if he goes with the start. Yep. But let me finish, Benty, before you jump in.
I mean, that was Andy.
Yeah,
that was Andy, not Benty.
You're right, Benty. Let him finish.
No, it was Andy.
He's so rude.
How does he not know my voice? It was you that jumped in.
Sorry about that. So, obviously, he didn't get the best start at Brentford, and I think they were patient with him, and the reward, basically, history speaks for itself. But I just think, I mean, you were saying League Cup top 10, is that acceptable? Well, I'll throw one at you. Why did we finish 17th and win the Champions League? Would they accept that? Because Ange, obviously, Ange said to him in January, look, we're not going to win the league, but we'll get a chance at winning the first European trophy in 41 years, first trophy in 17. So what is good enough for Daniel Levy? Because he's got a players' vote on his hands, but the players want to leave, and he set out a stall that says, even though you won the second biggest trophy in Europe, that still doesn't guarantee that you're going to be the manager the following season. Just want to know what your thoughts are, guys.
I think if Spurs were to get relegated and win the Champions League, I mean, come on, that's just...
If Spurs get relegated and win the Champions League?
Yeah, of course they take it.
No, they wouldn't.
What?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. That's an unbelievable question.
We'll ask them.
I don't know.
I mean, I
relegated.
Win the Champions League. I know that's tough.
Would you?
As an Arsenal fan, I think about it. Probably not, but I think about it. No, I'm not doing it. No chance. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I bet if I was serving against you, when we're putting the ball.
Do you know what? Quick one.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got to shout out the females and that. Who's your top 3 female?
What do you mean we've got to shout out the females?
You know what I mean? We didn't give them some love. The tennis players.
Oh, now you accuse me of being sexist.
No, I'm not. So I'm giving you option.
Steffi Graf, 100%.
See, she's one of mine. My 3.
But now it just sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Serena
Williams.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, you've got to put her in because she's the greatest of all time.
Oh yeah. Steffi Graf is in there.
Yeah.
Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
See, we're different eras.
She was unbelievable.
So I'm going Steffi Graf.
Yeah.
I'm showing my age now. Chris Evert-Lloyd.
Oh yeah.
It was her and Martina Navratilova.
She was decent. Martina.
And Courtney Cover.
You're a disgrace. Disgrace. You're no Sharapova?
Yeah, she could be in there, Tom. We haven't got time to go Googling because you just made me do that. More from me and Benny after this.
You cannot be serious!
Guardiola says it's time for Man City to rest and reset their minds after they were dumped out of the Club World Cup. He believes his side are still doing well, but Danny Mills isn't so sure. The former City defender has told talkSPORT Pep must tighten up at the back ahead of next season after they were exposed against Al Hilal.
Defences win titles, strikers win your matches. Simple as that. You know, to win the Champions League, to win a league, you have to have a fabulous defence.
Well, some reckon the result is a clear signal that Saudi clubs are successfully climbing the global football ladder. But what does Simon Jordan think?
Yeah, it's a shot in the arm. The Saudis will take enormous pleasure from this. It's a tournament to some extent that's being backed by the Saudis. And of course, Infantino would be snivelling up to them instantaneously by saying the new era of football has definitely started. Yeah. Because he knows where his bread's buttered.
Elsewhere this afternoon, Jack Draper is getting his Wimbledon charge started, and Nick Kyrgios has backed him to go all the way.
Making that semi-finals of the US Open last year, I think he's got the confidence underneath him now. Sebastian Baez is not going to be an easy task though. It's a tough first round. Sebastian, makes a lot of balls, so Jack Draper's going to have to lock in early, which is good. It's going to have to lock him early, and then maybe it's going to, it will give Draper the confidence to really think he can win Wimbledon for sure.
There's plenty more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT, it's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent here, everyone. Still to come and have some fun with the best of talkSPORT, One World Billy, and all his mate, all of them, every single one of them, will be in the studio for the end of show quiz. Now it's time to discuss mine about his top 5 Premier League Davids of all time. This comes after City agreed a deal to sign David Silva on this day 15 years ago, before he went on to be one of the very best in Premier League history. Just under 30 million he was. Bargain.
Bargain bucket, that.
Bargain. Absolute wonderful player. I don't think when I had to write my 5 down, it's not as easy as you think. There aren't that many great Davids. There's literally like 7 or 8.
So my list, so I've written down a few names, right? More than 5.
Yeah.
Because I need to. Are we basing it on ability?
Yeah.
Or are we basing it on just the Davids that you like?
Okay.
Do you know what's, and the reason why I asked?
I've gone for ability.
The reason why I asked because of course you know I've got a goalkeeper in here, but how do I then rank him against someone like a?
Wait, you got to do that. That's part of the job you've got to do.
Okay.
You know you're paid like 10 grand a show. Part of that is to deal with problems like this.
Okay, cool, no worries.
All right. Have we got any intro for top 5 at 5 at 5? Have we got that? Oh, yeah, old school.
That's my one, isn't it? That's ours.
Ours. Oh, let's see. Mine. The real Darren Bent. Mine.
Last week I was the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, yes, thanks, yeah. Right, so top 5 Davids of all time. We start at number
5.
You want to go first?
All right, yeah. Well, I've taken out David Nugent because I thought it was our best.
I reckon our 5 will be identical, not in the same order.
All right, well,
we've got exactly the same 5.
I've taken out Nuge. Shout out Nuge, though.
All right.
I've got number 5, David Ginola.
Okay.
I mean, great player. Newcastle.
What about
Spurs.
my shout earlier on in the meeting?
Everton. I don't even remember him at Everton.
Yeah.
But yeah, great locks as well. Great hair. Better hair than you. Come on, David Ginola. Yes, he has.
But he's grey now.
Yeah, but then he was unbelievable.
No. What are you talking about? I'm probably his age. How old do you think Ginola is? Oh, that's a great question. What's your guess?
56, 57?
You reckon?
Yeah.
When was he playing for Spurs, roughly? Mid-90s, or am I going mad?
Yeah, I'd say so. Maybe late 90s.
Okay, David Ginola. Here we go. David Ginola is the age of 58.
Yes, I suppose. But I'm going David Ginola at 5.
Okay. I've gone for someone I know you're Matt. Do we need to say David? Well, I mean, they're all called David.
No, you need to say it.
No, they're all called David.
No, just say it.
Number 5, I've gone for Seaman. Right?
Yeah.
I've got a couple of goalkeepers in there. You can probably work out who they are.
Yeah, one of them you scored against.
No.
Goal of the century.
I've not put David James in.
Okay.
No. I've gone for Dave Seaman because,
Oh, I know who the other one is.
I've gone for Dave Seaman because one of England's greatest ever goalkeepers. Arsenal's greatest ever? Arsenal's greatest ever goalkeeper?
David Seaman. Yeah.
Arsenal's greatest ever. Nice bloke, likeable fella, and safe hands, etc. So David Seaman is my number 5.
Okay, I like that.
Why are you Googling stuff? Don't change your list.
No, I'm not changing.
Okay, from 5, it's number
4.
Thanks, Jack.
Number 4, gone David Unsworth.
Oh, I haven't got him.
Unzi. What? Not only is he a good player.
Hard as nails, he was.
Yeah, what a guy as well. Spent a bit of time with him at Ipswich.
So this is not what a guy top 5.
No, but he played an important role.
Okay.
And we got on really well. Was brilliant at Everton, by the way.
That's where I'm picturing.
Yeah, he was at West Ham, of course, as well. Played a little part of Villa as well.
How long was he at West Ham for? I don't remember that.
He was at West Ham for 1 year.
Okay.
He was at Villa for a year, and then he went to Everton.
Yeah.
I think hold on, didn't he some weird transfer? Didn't he sign for Villa, and then a couple of hours later sign for Everton?
Yes.
Or something weird.
Something happened like that. You're right.
Yeah, but no, he was brilliant at Everton, as you know. There for 6 years. Then went to Portsmouth as part of that Harry team as well, I think. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've gone for Unzi at number 4.
Okay. My number 4 is another goalkeeper, David De Gea.
Yeah.
No,
he's great.
He was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Here's a question for you, right? Take your Arsenal hat off. Better than David Seaman?
For a period, I'd probably say yes.
Okay,
if I'm
I think
being
that's
honest.
fair.
Yeah, if I'm being honest.
I think that's fair. The way we let him go was disgraceful.
Yeah, he's probably do a job now.
Oh, I take him back in a heartbeat.
Yeah. There was a period, though, which I don't remember happening to Seaman at Arsenal, where David De Gea, every shot from every angle just went in.
His last season at our place was fleet, dog with a fleet, yeah. But listen, he was our player of the year for like 4 or 5 times out of 6. I mean, he was nuts, right?
Yeah. Also, just letting people know, we're doing Premier League. It's not because someone put Trezeguet.
It's just Premier League players.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the next one.
Number 3.
Number 3, I've gone David Platt.
I haven't got Platt in there.
Platt, legend, Arsenal. I mean,
hold on.
He went his best at Arsenal. But hey, you said footballing ability, and he was an incredible player, wasn't he? He scored goals for England.
You've only got 2 left.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't put your guy in. I can tell you that right now. I didn't put him because I knew you were going to put him in your list. So
hold on, you haven't got Bex.
No, because I knew full well he was going to hit your list.
You are an absolute disgrace.
People that listen to this show know that you.
David Beckham's not in your top 5 Davids of all time.
No, well, he would be, but because you put him in yours, I ain't taking your thunder.
That's how you do it.
I'm not taking your thunder. No, but anyway, I've got.
Where would he be in yours?
As in my favourites.
Best.
Oh yeah, probably number 5 or something.
Mate, what's the matter with you?
I love Bex. You probably got to. I've gone Platty at number 3.
All right. Good player, Platty. I'm surprised you remember him. He was at Arsenal for a long time, wasn't he?
Why did I put him in? I can remember him at Arsenal.
No, but I thought it was before your time. So I remember Platty when he scored the goal for England at the 90 World Cup.
Yep.
When you were born in like 94, right?
I was born in 84.
84. Okay. So you don't remember. You were 6 when that game was out. You don't remember that.
Yeah, but that's when he was at Arsenal, right? David Platt was at Arsenal.
Yeah.
In 95, 98. So I do remember that clearly.
Did David Platt go to 2 Italian clubs? Sampdoria and...
Bari. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I've gone Platty.
Okay, let me try and tell you his clubs, Platty, right?
Go on.
Arsenal.
Where did he start?
He started some non-league.
Okay, we didn't, but go on.
Oh, didn't he?
No.
What did we move?
C. I'll give you a clue. Dario Gradi. Or Dario Grady. I think his name's Dario Gradi.
Dario Gradi, yeah.
Dean Ashton started there as well.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Crew.
Right, okay, yeah.
Right, then where'd he go?
Then he had his big move to Villa.
Yep, then
after Villa, he probably left Villa and went abroad. Did he go Sampdoria? Did he go...
Oh, he played for 3. I just seen it gone. Where'd he go? Gone.
Well, after Villa?
Yeah.
So Villa would have been about around the time when he was playing for England in the World Cup. So that's when he got his... I thought that's when he got his big move away.
He went to... I said them, the Italian club.
Okay.
I said it. Who are they?
Bari.
Yep. Then where'd he go? Another Italian club. Giant.
It wasn't Juve, was it?
Juve.
He did go to Juve, did he?
Yeah, 1 year. Then
that's insane.
Then he went to Sampdoria.
Yeah.
Then Arsenal, then Forest.
That's nuts, isn't it? He had an unbelievable... He'd be a good guest.
Yeah, Platty.
He'd be a great guest.
He was my under-21 manager.
Do you know him?
I ain't spoken to him for years.
Should we try and get him in?
Yeah,
that'd be a great guest.
Okay.
That'd be a great guest.
So he's my 3.
Okay, this is my 3.
Number 2.
Number 3. I've gone for David Ginola as well.
All right, nice.
When you think of David Ginola scoring a goal, is there one particular goal he scores?
Was it Barnsley?
Yeah, that's exactly the goal
Yeah.
I've got. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And he took his top off.
Yeah.
And cut in on the left. A windy night, wasn't it?
He was wearing a vest on the.
That's right. Yeah. Windy night as well. His hair's all over the place. Unbelievable goal. Right, on to the next.
Number 2.
Oh, and there's another one. Sorry, that Ginola. When they beat you 5-0, and he scores that whipper top corner at Newcastle.
I forgot about that.
No, I didn't.
What? Hold on. What? The Philip Albert one?
Yeah.
He scored in that.
Ginola scored in that. Unbelievable goal.
Did he?
Yeah.
Philip Albert goal was unbelievable. That was the chip over Peach Mark, wasn't it?
Right, my number 2 is David Seaman.
What are you talking about?
Number 2, David Seaman.
You're so biased.
No.
It's ridiculous.
Goalkeeper, Arsenal, fantastic double winning
Mate, you
goalkeeper.
love Seaman so much, don't you?
David Seaman, yeah, I love him.
Yeah. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Seaman at 2.
Okay, I've gone for David Silva.
All right.
I mean, genius of a player.
Yep.
I know this sounds nuts. I think underrated.
A little bit, yeah, I'd agree with that.
Because we're talking about one of the greatest players, I think, to grace the Premier League.
Well, do you know what the problem is? The numbers. His numbers are not like others.
Yeah, okay. It's numbers, and also there are other great players in that team that he was surrounded by.
Yeah, but I still think he was at the top of that. But when you look at like Yaya's numbers or Kevin De Bruyne's numbers, they're so much better.
Who's Man City's number 1?
But best player ever.
Is it David Silva?
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? They've got a few. Guerrero.
Yeah, I think it's
Company.
I think David Silva might be top of that list.
De Bruyne.
I mean, I think it's Company, De Bruyne, and Silva.
Like Rodri. Mate,
Yeah, not yet. I know he won the Ballon d'Or.
No, but he's won everything. They didn't win everything.
Yeah, maybe. In fact, can one City fan phone up and answer the question? I'll just take one call.
All right.
0371722. Who's top of that list?
Go on, Jack.
Last ones.
Number 1.
David Silva.
Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Absolute player.
Do you think he's underrated? I've gone for Bex.
Oh, yeah, shock.
But it's got to be Bex. Bex is the greatest David ever to play the game in this country. Probably in the world.
He's not better than David Silva.
He is.
No, he's not.
He is.
Well, he's obviously not.
Well, on my list he is. He doesn't even make your list.
Nah,
Darren's a great lad as well.
No, forget it, Dave. It doesn't even put, what do you say about me, Dave? Anyway? No, you can't find it, Jack.
No, serious question though.
Yeah.
And take your bias. I know you love
I'm not
Bex.
biased.
No, I know you love him. But as a player, he's not better than David Silva.
I honestly think he was.
John, you're not...
Honestly, this is not just me with my love affair for Bex. I think you underrate Bex.
Mate,
I really do. I think his range of passing borders on genius.
Okay.
He's hitting 70 yard like super. What do you call it? Quarterback balls.
I get that, but my point is, he's not as a player.
I think he was.
You said Gary Neville was better than Cafu.
Yeah, but that was
That
tongue in cheek. Well, of course it was tongue in cheek.
But come on, I didn't put Bex in my list because I knew he was going to be in yours. Like Bex would obviously get in my top favourite Davids because he's a great captain, great person.
I think when you're talking about a player that captained his country, right? When you're talking about a player that was part of, you could argue, the greatest midfielder we've ever seen in the Premier League. You could argue that, right? Giggs, Bex, Scholes and Keane. What? Come on. You got to give me that, right?
No, listen, Andy. Bex as a football player is not better than David Silva.
I honestly think he was.
Okay, fair enough.
All right? It's crazy. It's your ex-teammate.
Mate, he's a legend.
You're vile, mate.
He is not better.
You know what? If we had a chance of David coming...
I forgot someone. I used to love David Luiz.
I thought about him, but I thought he was great when he was at Chelsea, but when he went to your gaff, he sort of like poo-pooed himself, didn't he? Not literally.
Bex is better than David Silva, okay?
Yeah, I think so. No?
No.
My 5 was Seaman, De Gea, Ginola, David Silva, and Sir David Beckham.
Yeah, I've gone...
I love Andy.
Cheers, Bex.
Ginola.
I love you, Bex.
Unzi, Platty, Silva.
Unzi,
mate.
Unzi.
I'd love to get Unzi in.
I think Platty would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Platty and Unzi. We'll do it for the new season.
Yeah.
The Platty and Unzi show. Imagine if they do Drive. Still to come on Drive. We'll be bringing you some fun with the best of talkSPORT.
You can't beat a bump on a bum bump.
I don't even know what he said. We'll ask Eddie Hearn what he made of last night's sports bar.
Irrelevant, boring, old, yesterday's news. Out the way, excuse me, we're coming in.
Yeah, fair play. And we'll be bringing you the very latest in the Drive car booster.
Brilliant strike from Anthony Elanga, coming on as a substitute.
Oh, that and loads more coming up. The last hour Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, and the best of talkSPORT when we come back.
plays that villain role very well now. It's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally, and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
And at Sheffield Wednesday really has been humiliating for the
TalkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Bent is here. Motorpoint, new car, same day driveway, available on all cars. Book a test drive today. Still to come, Eddie Hearn joins us in 9 minutes' time. Stick around for that. João Pedro has passed his medical ahead of his move to Chelsea. And day 2 of Wimbledon is happening. Watching for TalkSPORT is Lisa O'Sullivan.
Just seen a very emotional scene over on court number 1 as Petra Kvitova bowed out of the championships. She won the title in 2011 and then again in 2014 had that terrible attack where her left hand, her playing hand, was injured when a burglar broke into her home. But the Czech Republic player has checked out of the club for good. Jack Draper, therefore, is ready to get underway on court number 1. The British number 1, ranked number 4 here at Wimbledon, and a real hope to go deep into the tournament. He's just about to get underway against Sebastian Baez of Argentina.
Thanks, Lisa. Before we move on, just quickly, a word about Jack. Right? Now, we love Jack. We take the mickey out of Jack, but we absolutely love Jack. He's part of the team, very important part of our team. Went to the gym this morning.
Yeah.
Split his shorts. His shorts.
Yeah.
And he's coming to work, and I just saw him, and I went, what are you shorts today? Lost property from the gym. That means someone's left them in the locker room after they've worked out, and then they've handed them in.
Yeah.
And he's got them on. What's your view on that?
I think if Jack had just messaged it, I saw the message, and I didn't realise that he'd have done that, but I'd have rather have gone to the shop and bought him a pair of shorts.
Too, yeah.
Then there's a what's called just down the street. I think it's called Mountain Warehouse.
Yes, it's just past the bridge.
Yeah, I would have happily gone in there and bought him some shorts. And I would have bought him some nice ones so he could have kept them.
So on the hottest day of the year, sitting in someone else's sweaty shorts.
But also as well, by the way, where the rip is, he could have just put them on because his boxes underneath would have blended in, kind of.
Jack, man, honestly, you got someone else's. Jack just said I'm taking them on holiday with me. What, the person who owns the shorts or the shorts? Time now for this. I'd love to do a phone-in, right, of lost property stuff. If you've had something from lost property for years, let me know. I don't even know if I want to know this. Time for the better TalkSPORT friends. We run you through some of the reasons I manage from across TalkSPORT and our sister stations. Start with this morning's Brekkie Show, Jeff Stelling, Super Ali McCoy. Here they are talking about something that makes everyone laugh.
Such a lads boys thing that we laugh at wind, right? It doesn't matter what age you are, from a small child to adult men like ourselves, you can't beat a burp or a bum burp, right? It makes us laugh. As childish as it is, we do smile, and that makes me smile and it makes you smile. Yeah. And it certainly made Brazil smile.
Yeah, it's pathetic but true, I'm afraid to say.
I like the way you got smile and smell mixed up. I have to say that my youngest, who's 13 now, when she was about 4, I taught her that this is disgusting. I taught her the trick of, when you say pick a finger, are you aware of this?
Yeah, and you put it in
and you. And so I taught her that. My wife went nuts, but I taught her that, and she did that to her teacher. She ran up to it. She went, Miss, quick, touch your finger. And the teacher didn't have a clue. We got in trouble. Where's the most embarrassing place you've ever passed wind?
Probably in a lift.
I've never heard you pass wind.
I don't, that's why, but in a lift probably years ago.
What, and then someone gets in?
Someone gets in.
Oh, that's
no.
so horrific, isn't it? Out of everyone you know, who does the smelliest
I don't know.
wind pass?
I mean, that's a weird question.
I mean, come on, you work with Cundy non-stop.
Is
There's
it?
no respect for anyone.
Oh, no, yeah, I've never heard that. I've never heard you either. Yes, I have, actually. You're disgusting in the meetings. Yeah, you do it. You do it quite a lot.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. In the meetings upstairs, yes. Do you know what? I forgot about that.
Because it's funny. That animal question, it makes me laugh. Besides passing wind, what's something else that everyone finds funny?
No, I don't find that funny, passing wind.
Oh, you just laughed at it?
No, but the funniest thing I would say that people do...
Or what's disgusting? I'll let you have either. Like biting nails?
No, you know what?
Picking noses?
Nah, flip-flops in the office.
Oh, that's worse?
Don't like that.
Okay. Don't forget, Super Alan McCoy will be back on the Brady Show tomorrow morning. He'll be joined by a big out of Brazil.
On to last night's sports bar with O'Hara and Cundy. Here's Cundy describing an altercation he had with a fellow sunbather.
Go back, see them. Go back in, come back out. Throw like a towel or book or flip-flop or something like that on there.
What, at night?
At night, pitch dark. So I went there, grabbed it, threw it away in the bush.
You're out of order.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not out of order. That is fair game. You want to play games like that, right? I'll play my games as well.
Well, this is pitch dark.
Yeah, pitch
black, I think it means.
How long is it okay to leave a sunbed unattended?
That's a great question.
Well, if I'm away, like when I was in Greece doing the coaching,
yeah.
Before the coaching, I would go down about 7 a.m. if I'm up and put stuff on the beds, to get them.
But is anyone on the beds while you're coaching?
Yeah, the family will come down.
So that's fine. I would say that. How is that? I would say that if you get your beds in the morning, you can leave them for the whole day. I've done that before.
Yeah,
I've gone out for sometimes you go, should we go to the town centre?
Yeah.
I've done that before.
All right, what's something about holidays that annoys you?
The queues getting through passport control.
That's a great question, that's right.
And also, when you've got to come home, that you've had a great week off or whatever, and it's packing, then the transfer...
You just want to click your fingers and you're back home.
Yeah. Yeah. I always find that, I don't get stressed about anything, but that stress of waiting for that transfer to pick you up.
Do you know what? That's why I try. When I'm going home, I try and get flights in the morning because I don't want to be waiting all day.
Oh, no.
Get me out early as possible.
Check out at 9.
Away we go.
Yeah, midday flight's the best, yeah.
All right, if you go on holiday with Cundy, where would you go?
Where would I go with Cundy? Somewhere European where there's nightlife.
Oh, nice. Jamie and Jason will be back together tonight from 10. Be sure to get your calls in 03717 223344.
Don't forget to download the TalkSPORT app. You can swipe between TalkSPORT and TalkSPORT 2 and all of our other sister stations so you never miss a moment. Last hour of our show is coming up, and the chairman of Matchroom Sport, or whatever they're to be called, Eddie Hearn, will be joining us right after this live and drive on TalkSPORT.
It makes my butt cheeks clench sometimes.
Pep Guardiola says it's time for Man City to rest and reset their minds after they were dumped out of the Club World Cup. He believes his side are still doing well, but Danny Mills isn't so sure. The former City defender has told talkSPORT Pep must tighten up at the back ahead of next season after they were exposed against Al Hilal.
Defences win titles, strikers win your matches. Simple as that. You know, to win the Champions League, to win a league, you have to have a fabulous defence as well as a great attack. City haven't had that. You know, Liverpool were, superb last season defensively.
Well, some reckon the result is a clear signal that Saudi clubs are successfully climbing the global football ladder. But what does Simon Jordan think?
It's a moment in time. It's a moment in time when the Saudi Arabians beat Argentina at the World Cup. Who went on and won the World Cup? The Argentinians. And so you look at this result in isolation and say, yeah, it's a shot in the arm. The Saudis will take enormous pleasure from this. It's a tournament to some extent that's being backed by the Saudis. And of course, Infantino would be snivelling up to them instantaneously by saying the new era of football has definitely started. Yeah. Because he knows where his bread's buttered.
Elsewhere this afternoon, Jack Draper is getting his Wimbledon charge started, and Nick Kyrgios has backed him to go all the way.
I think Draper's got more than a chance to win Wimbledon. I think making that semi-finals of the US Open last year, I think he's got the confidence underneath him now. Sebastian Baez is not going to be an easy task though. It's a tough first round. Sebastian makes a lot of balls, so Jack Draper's going to have to lock in early, which is good. It's going to have to lock him early, and then maybe it's going to it will give Draper the confidence to really think he can win Wimbledon for sure.
Well, it follows a record-breaking opening day at Wimbledon for home players. 7 across the men's and women's draw made the second round. That's the most successful day for British players at the tournament in the Open era. One of them, Katie Boulter, was even praised by Neil Warnock.
Some of the rallies, because she was a seeded player that she was playing, wasn't she?
Yeah, 9th seed.
I thought the guts and determination, I thought, wow, put that into football, she'd be a hell of a player.
There's plenty more at talksport.com.
Well, man, to last hour drive on talkSPORT, to me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent here.
10th, 11th, 12th,
13th. Still to come, we'll bring you the very latest transfer rumours in Drive's car boot sale. But now, we are delighted to say that we are joined by one of our favourite people on the planet and the chairman of Matchroom Sport, the wonderful Eddie Hearn, kicks things off in the final hour of the show. Eddie, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, boys.
Thanks so much for coming on. Listen, we've got loads to talk to you about, obviously, from the world of boxing. But just tell us a bit about where you are and what you're doing, because Adam Smith was in the studio earlier on, and I said, we've got Eddie Hearn joining us a bit later on at an event that no one really knows what it's about. And he went, I know what it's about. And I went, go on. And then he couldn't really tell us. So just tell us a bit about what you're up to.
I think, as you know, boxing involves a lot of hype, and sometimes you create these events and nights and everyone thinks you're about to announce AJ against Fury. Relax, we're not going to do that, but it's just about our mission statement moving forward for the business in boxing. There is a rebrand, there is a new look, there is a new logo, AJ's here tonight. I think, Andy, the thing is boxing is a very crowded space. We're the only global promotional company in the world, and we just want to keep evolving. Basically, what happens in boxing is we lead, we go first, and everyone follows. And then after a while, everything looks the same. So we've got to double down and go again. And for me, I'm a little bit old school. I mean, you imagine my old man when he gets a bill for a rebrand and a new logo. I mean, he can't believe the money that we're spending on actually deep diving and doing data research into our customers to know exactly what they want when they come to our events. But this is the modern world, and we're freshening things up tonight. You'll see it all over socials over the next few hours, and just a mission statement for us to double down in the boxing space as we continue to be the premier promotional company globally, of course, for the world of boxing. Of course, that's ahead of a massive fight in Manchester this weekend with Jack Catterall against Harlem Eubank.
We'll get to that fight in a sec. When you say rebranding, does that mean the name of Matchroom Sport will be disappearing?
No, not at all. But from a Matchroom boxing sense, I mean, look, Matchroom Sport is the holding company, as you know, Andy. You know, and we've got, of course, the 9-ball tour, we've got the PDC, we've got World Snooker. And Matchroom Boxing is a division of Matchroom Sport. So we feel that has to carry its own look, its own logo, and its own brand. You know, and you'll see that with the way that, you know, we've got a big campaign launching tomorrow globally in 16 cities around the world: Times Square, London, Uzbekistan, Sydney, with all our fighters going up on billboards around the world. And you know, we're just doubling down in the sport. We think the sport's actually in a great place right now. Obviously, Turki Al Sheikh's out there doing great things, spending a load of money, and we're stepping up to the plate, not just obviously with the rebrand and the logo and the look and the profile and the marketing of our fighters, but the events themselves. Everything down to the press conferences, to the weigh-in, to the of course, more importantly, the product into the ring as well. I think we just need to freshen things up. Press conferences become a little bit stale. Weigh-ins become a little bit stale. Logos can become a little bit stale, and we have to keep evolving. And this is just a sign of that. We're not sitting back. We're trying to lead from the front as always, and we will celebrate that tonight with a number of our fighters. In fact, one short story, and shows you the depth and the longevity of Matchroom boxing. There's 3 heavyweights here tonight. Frank Bruno, who my dad's first ever fight, bizarrely, was Frank Bruno against Joe Bugner at White Hart Lane. He had no idea what he was doing. He just approached both fighters, done a deal. Anthony Joshua, that spearheaded British boxing for the last decade, and Leo Atang, our 18-year-old heavyweight that is the future, the next AJ, the World Under-19 Amateur World Champion, who debuts this Saturday at the AO Arena in Manchester. So there's a lot of our fighters here tonight. Well, you know what we're like, Andy. We're passionate guys. We're very competitive. You know, I give everybody else respect within the industry, but of course we know we are clear number one.
Well, Eddie, you spoke about this weekend's event, Jack Catterall against Harlem Eubank. I mean, how big a fight is this for both fighters, do you think?
I love the fight, Darren, because it's a real crossroads fight. You know, for Jack Catterall, you lose this fight, you're up creek without a paddle. You know, you've been fighting at world level for the last 4 or 5 years. He should have been the undisputed champion when he fought Josh Taylor. He's beaten Prograis. You know, he's just lost a split decision to Barboza. Whereas Harlem Eubank's been drawing big audiences on Channel 5, hasn't boxed at the same level, but he's a young, undefeated fighter. And the Eubank name and the brand's got a bit of momentum behind it at the moment. You know, and he's coming to win. And it's a really good domestic fight between 2 fighters that have been at different levels but kind of meet at the same level, and something's got to give.
Eddie, how difficult is it, the juggling act, when you've got someone like Harlem, a good young fighter coming through, unbeaten at the moment, but not too many people, obviously they've heard the family name but haven't necessarily heard his name attached to it. How difficult is it to juggle the fact that you're going to put a fighter like him in the ring with someone that's far more experienced, and it's a real tough fight, and he could lose for the first time, compared to letting him carry on fighting boxers that we've not heard of to get a better record? How challenging is that?
Yeah, I mean, basically what's been happening is he's been building his record, building his resume, building his profile with big audiences on Channel 5. Now all of a sudden he steps well up the levels, fighting a world-class fighter. You know, Jack Catterall's our fighter, so we didn't make the decision for Harlem to take this jump, but I like it. They think they can win. They think they're getting Jack Catterall at a great time. Normally I'm the guy putting the fighters in tough fights, but I like the fact that Wasserman have come along and go, no, you know what? We think we can beat Jack Catterall. We think he might be slightly past his best. We saw him against Barboza. We think this is the fight to elevate Harlem Eubank to a household name. So he's got the opportunity to do it. I think he'll come unstuck against Jack Catterall, but Jack's got to bounce back, and if he gets beat against Harlem, his career's really up in the air, and it's a fascinating domestic fight.
Yeah, it really is. Listen, from one Eubank to another, we've got to talk about Chris Eubank, Conor Benn's second fight. It's now been scheduled for the 20th of September. There's been a little bit of confusion around Eubank. You say he's signed by no one on social media. It's been reported that he's still in a partnership with Boxer. What's your understanding as to who he's with, Eddie?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, we had, you know, when the fight was announced, we had a message from Eubank's management team, and that message was also sent to Turki Al Sheikh to say that, just to confirm that we have no Boxer promotional relationship with Boxer. We are and Boxer come out and said, no, we haven't, but we're partners. Not quite sure what that means. But Eubank basically said to us, you need to deal with us, because I'm the one that makes all the decisions. You see, what Turki Al-Sheikh does, and he does it repeatedly, it's quite amusing really, he announces the fight without actually even telling you. But both fighters are under contract, and you're getting so much money, you don't give a monkeys anyway. So for us, if it was Conor Benn, he's ready to fight on Saturday. He don't care. But I think it kind of caught Eubank a little bit off guard. Boxer have been talking about the date. Maybe they didn't funnel it back to Eubank, and all of a sudden Eubank's playing poker in Las Vegas somewhere and gets told he's fighting 12 weeks on Saturday. It's plenty of time. But we had written correspondence from Eubank to say, you need to deal with us now.
Sorry, I find that fascinating. So Eubank didn't know that the rematch was happening. He was told it was happening.
He knows it's happening. He knows it's contracted. You know, Turki Al-Sheikh announced the 27th of September in the ring, but he didn't know the announcement was coming. Nor did we, in all honesty. You know, we knew the date because it's on a group chat between everybody. We've been talking to venues. Obviously, when the fixture list come out with the football, it was going to be the 27th, then it was going to be the 20th. But they're the two dates that Boxer also confirmed in an email were going to be suitable. So from there, Turki Al-Sheikh went, good, we'll go ahead, and guess what, I'm going to tweet it out. And then he kindly sent me the tweet that he announced it with. But, you know, that's the world we live in these days.
Eddie, I mean, the fight, the first one for me between the two fighters was perfect in terms of the dad coming late on as well. I think the whole spectacle was absolutely incredible. Why did they need to do the rematch so quickly? I understand it's money, but there was no real controversy around the first fight. I thought the right man won. How come they both feel now's the right time for it to go again?
I just think that's such a bizarre view, Darren, and it's not just your view, by the way. I've seen a couple of tweets like that as well. We're so negative in this country. You've just seen the fight of the century, right? Some people thought Conor Benn won that fight. I thought Eubank edged the fight because of a great finish. But it was back and forward, it was drama, and it wasn't just drama, it was Oscar-winning drama on the night. It was a night like I've never seen before in terms of the storyline, in terms of the fight itself. And now we've got that activity from Conor Benn. We think we can beat him. It's just, you know, I just don't get the whole, we've just seen the fight of the century, we're going to do it again. Oh, why do you need to do it again? Because it was unbelievable. And guess what? It'll be even better this time. And guess what? I think our man will win this time. But we're ready to roll the dice. And let's give British fight fans and British sports fans another night they'll never forget. Because no one that went to that first fight and no one that tuned in live on DAZN will ever forget that night in their entire life. And that's what it's all about, giving people experiences they'll never forget.
I have to say, Eddie, I was lucky enough to be there actually for the first fight, and what I thought was one of the greatest.
Did you pay for your ticket, Andy?
No.
Of course I didn't, Eddie. It's silly. That's why it was such a great night. It was a freebie. But
if you'd paid $5,000 for the ringside, you would have been a bit like that, you know.
But I wouldn't have been shortchanged because it was an unbelievable, not just fight.
That's right.
It was a great fight, but the whole thing about who their dads were, the fact Chris Eubank's dad Turner, just everything made it just such a remarkable night. And I, for one, am delighted it's happening sooner rather than later. I really am. My last question.
But what it'll be is it will be the 13th round. That's what it'll be.
Okay.
From the first bell, it will be a continuation of that first fight.
Where I want to move on and talk AJ before I do. Where's the fight going to be? Because I remember after Eggate, it went up another level, and I just felt that the Spurs Stadium, it wasn't big enough. You could have held it on the moon. So I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere like Wembley
Spurs Stadium, one of the best stadiums in the world. Yeah, I'll let His Excellency announce that in true His Excellency style. But what I'll tell you is I believe we'll break the record this time around.
Okay.
Watch this space.
Has it been booked, that venue?
We have just actually finished meetings today. Okay. Where, you know, the reason that we confirmed the date, or His Excellency did, is because that the venue that he wants is available. So you shall see.
Just cough if it is Wembley Stadium. Okay. Listen, let's talk about AJ ever so quickly. Let's talk about AJ ever so quickly. I watched Jake Paul the weekend. I feel a bit dirty saying that because I'm not a fan of his, but he did say after the fight that he's sort of having DMs or he's dropping text messages to AJ. They're having a chat about a potential fight. What's your view on that, Eddie?
Well, look, he's calling out Gervonta Davis, who is a 135-pound lightweight, and he's calling out Anthony Joshua, that's a heavyweight monster. I think Jake Paul is crazy enough to fight Anthony Joshua because the money would be absolutely obscene. It's a catastrophic mismatch that people would tune in to watch because it would lead to the end of Jake Paul. Hopefully not literally, but it's that dangerous that, you know, it's a fight that I don't think should really happen, if I'm honest. I would say about Jake Paul, and I've said this in a couple of interviews today, I do think you start after giving him a margin of respect. You know, I think this guy is going through the motions, he's putting the hard spars in. He just went 10 rounds with, yes, a washed-up fighter, but a former world champion that did train for that fight. But they're very clever in terms of the opponents that they pick. They're not going to gamble unless the money's out of control. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jake Paul, like, wanted to move forward with an Anthony Joshua fight. Honestly, AJ's coming tonight. He's not exactly looking at Jake Paul going, oh, that's my dream opponent.
No.
Would he go in there and give him a hiding for, you know, a massive chunk of money? Probably. I'd be saying, yeah, go on. I'd like to see it.
Just finally on Jake Paul, he has now got a ranking by one of the governing bodies. I think he's 15th. I find that quite farcical. When he
14th for the WBO, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
14th.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen. Look, I think a lot of these governing bodies, you know, although they're governing bodies, some of them are kind of commercially led. They think it's going to benefit them to have Jake Paul in their rankings. I said this year, I think Jake Paul is in the top 100 in the world in the cruiserweight division. And by the way, I don't think that's an awful achievement given the fact this guy found boxing in his mid-20s, and I think he's doing well. I think he's improving. Is he world class? Absolutely not. But he is improving, and he's a lot better than a lot of fighters out there. So, in a way, good luck. Can't believe I've said it, but in a way, good luck.
Eddie, listen, thanks for coming on, and thanks again for the promise of those free ringside tickets for Wembley Stadium. I'm very kind.
Always. Well, we know. Look, one thing we know, Andy, is if we see you at the fight,
yes,
we know you haven't paid. And that's a given every single time.
Listen, if you see me at the fight, it's because you've given me those free tickets. Ed, listen, thank you as always. We're big fans of yours on not
Cheers,
just
boys.
on Drive, but
Cheers.
on talkSPORT. Appreciate your time, Eddie.
Cheers, Eddie.
Cheers, bud.
There you go. Eddie Hearn.
Look, you trying to get your tickets already.
You telling me you want to go to that?
No.
See, you're like Simon Jordan, you are, aren't you?
No, well, I'd go.
Of course, because it's going to be an unbelievable night of boxing.
Are we going? Oh, we're not going to Wales, are we? We're not here.
No.
But no, yeah, I can mean you going. You bank.
You want to? You want to come to that?
Yeah, me and you.
Oh, okay. So it's all right for me to sort of blag Eddie for the tickets, and you take the Mickey. As soon as I get them, you want one.
Me and you, yeah.
Oh, I'll put it down. How much are you going to spend? More than you would have done for a Wimbledon ticket. More from Benty when we come back. In fact, when we come back, we'll be looking into the Women's Euro. Starts, I think, it's tomorrow, right? We'll talk about Haaland at Man City. We've got lots to cram in. We'll talk about the Club World Cup, Drives Car Boot Sale, and the end of show quiz. All coming your way between now and 7. I don't know how we're going to make that work.
plays that villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally, and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Billy, our producer, telling me where we're going next in the show, and I'm like, Bill, shut, I'll do what I want. I'll do it. It's our show, innit? We do what we want. Some little pipsqueak tell me what to do.
Honestly. Where is Bill? Is he still wearing that full-blown trackie when it's roasting out outside?
Oh, I'd rather wear the tracksuit than lost and found over there. Look at him. Oh, dear. You listen to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent and Motorpoint. Thousands of cars, all unbeatable prices guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. Still to come, we'll bring you the latest transfer rumours in Drive's car boot sale. But now, day 2 of Wimbledon, well and truly underway. Watching for talkSPORT with more knowledge on the sport than anyone on the planet, and that's why we've got her, is the wonderful Lisa O'Sullivan.
Absolutely, and cheap at half the price, which is what talkSPORT pay. British number 1 Jack Draper racing away over on court 1. He's taken the first set against Argentina's Sebastian Baez 6-2 in round about 26 minutes. The 4th seed left-hander's serve is on fire. He banged one down at 136 miles an hour. And the men's 3rd seed Alexander Zverev has taken Arthur Rinderknecht to a deciding 5th set in the curfewed match that they started at 9 o'clock last night, and the Frenchman has just got a break. He leads 2-1 in the decider.
Good work. Thanks as always for that, Lisa. Right, this Saturday live from Manchester, ex-super lightweight contender Jack Catterall moves to welterweight to face unbeaten Harlem Eubank. It's available live only on DAZN. Sign up at DAZN.com/boxing.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Cute. Right, time now to look ahead to the week's action in Switzerland with our friends at McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. When the big match means big McDonald's hunger, try the new and iconic Big Arch. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
Yes, the Women's Euros gets underway tomorrow, and of course the talkSPORT network have you covered. The host Switzerland, they get their campaign underway against Norway. It's live on talkSPORT at 8 p.m. And then the big one, England kick off against France at the same time on Saturday evening, 8 p.m. And as well as France, England are in a group with the Netherlands and Wales. The talkSPORT network, of course, brings you live commentary of every single England and Wales game. And ahead of the opening game, England and Arsenal's Beth Mead has been looking ahead to the tournament.
What a end to the season with the Champions League coming into the Euros.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
On top of the world, to win a Champions League, one of the biggest domestic trophies that you can possibly win. It was like being on cloud 9 when we won that against a very, very good Barcelona team. Underdogs to go and win that in the way that we did, and deserved. Pretty incredible. Came in a very big high coming into camp after that one.
You obviously were a big part of the 2022 Euros win with the Lionesses. Of course, you're injured for the World Cup in 2023.
Yeah.
How does this squad rate in terms of personalities?
There's a lot of different personalities within this squad. I think we've got a lot more youth than I've had in previous squads that I've been in, but I think the energy that the younger girls and more inexperienced girls bring to training day in, day out is pretty incredible. they're super excited to go to their first tournaments, and there's some of us oldies who have got the experience, but yeah, it's nice to have that fresh energy within the camp and be able to, inject that into training and the intensity of training, and also have us guys who can try and keep some of them right along the way.
How difficult is it going to be, Bentley, for the Lionesses to cope with the pressure of retaining that Euro trophy?
Well, I said it's going to be big pressure, but at the same time, when they won it 4 years ago, it felt that there wasn't any pressure because no one really expected it. But now, when you
no one really knew about it, but our knowledge, yours, mine, our listeners,
was completely.
Yeah.
But I think now, because of what they've been through the last 4 years, they are the holders as well. There's going to be big pressure. But as Beth was talking about there, I mean, being part of the Arsenal team that won the Champions League, so she's coming in there with full of confidence. Obviously, a number of Arsenal players in that squad as well. Alessia Russo as well being another one. That's going to help. But I mean, France and the Netherlands and even Wales. I mean, people disrespecting Wales, they've got a good side as well. It's going to be fascinating. But as I said, and that goes for men and women, whenever England play, it doesn't matter who we play against, it almost feels like it's the other team's final. And I don't know if it's English arrogance that whatever tournament we go into, even though for the men's, I'm talking about the men's, we haven't won it since '66. Every single tournament, we're going to win it. Like, France is rubbish. Even though France have won a World Cup recently, got to another, it's almost like, yeah, rubbish. We'll beat them. Spain, rubbish. We'll beat them. But then you get to it.
So ignorant, aren't we?
We are so ignorant, and that's why it almost feels like it's even harder sometimes because all other nations go, the arrogance to them. Let's beat them.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being part of the
phone-ins, right? When's your first one? Is it tomorrow?
No, Saturday.
Wednesday, I mean?
Saturday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Saturday.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking when England play. Oh, of course you're after the first thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, it'd be good. Right, that was all thanks to our friends at McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. When the big match means Big McDonald's hunger, try the new and iconic Big Arch. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
That was a look. Oh, sorry, still to come. We'll look ahead to tonight's action in the Club World Cup. Of course we will. That music, of course, means it's time for no Googling. On this day, England lost on pens against Portugal at the World Cup in 2006. You know that?
Yeah, was that a wink? Ronaldo?
Yes. We want to know who's the only England player to score their penalty in that shootout.
Good question.
Good question. The answer to that good question, and I'm guessing a horrific clue for Bentley, and more coming up live and live on talkSPORT in seconds.
Pep Guardiola says it's time for Man City to rest and reset their minds after they were dumped out of the Club World Cup. He believes his side are still doing well, but Danny Mills isn't so sure. The former City defender has told talkSPORT Pep must tighten up at the back ahead of next season after they were exposed against Al Hilal.
Defences win titles, strikers win your matches. Simple as that. You know, to win the Champions League, to win a league, you have to have a fabulous defence.
Well, some reckon the result is a clear signal that Saudi clubs are successfully climbing the global football ladder. But what does Simon Jordan think?
Yeah, it's a shot in the arm. The Saudis will take enormous pleasure from this. It's a tournament to some extent that's being backed by the Saudis. And of course, Infantino would be snivelling up to them instantaneously by saying the new era of football has definitely started. Yeah. Because he knows where his bread's buttered.
Elsewhere this afternoon, Jack Draper is getting his Wimbledon charge started, and Nick Kyrgios has backed him to go all the way.
Making that semi-finals of the US Open last year, I think he's got the confidence underneath him now. Sebastian Baez is not going to be an easy task though. It's a tough first round. Sebastian, makes a lot of balls, so Jack Draper's going to have to lock in early, which is good. It's going to have to lock him early, and then maybe it's going to, it will give Draper the confidence to really think he can win Wimbledon for sure.
There's plenty more at talksport.com.
Eddie Goldstein Darren Bent here. Say hello, Darren.
I thought my talk up was unbelievable.
Oh, it was great.
I'm going to start doing that from now on.
Do you know what? I've done a little list here, actually. Talk ups by complete amateurs, and that is on the list.
Well, do you know what? At least I can be bothered to do it.
I was doing stuff.
Go on,
I was preparing.
Like what?
I've written this.
No.
I was giving the clue. I was writing out the clue.
Jack, from now on, Bill, I'm going to do that for you.
Oh,
yeah?
fine, all right. You do the talk up.
No problem.
Happy days.
There you go.
I was writing the clues for your clue for the answer
you didn't
to
need
the
to do
question.
that. I'll probably get it that anyway.
I don't you will. Who's the only England player to score their penalty when we lost on pens to Portugal in the 06 World Cup? You ready for the clue? Okay. First name is when you see like a kid that you haven't seen for like 8 years, and you're blimey, he's that kid. Oh, he's
grown.
Yeah, but a bit more.
Grown up.
Growing.
He's growing.
Growing. That's the first name. And his surname, right?
Yeah.
Is when you want to relax. You and your
Chill.
missus. No, you go to a little retreat. It's also the name of a supermarket. Nice. Go to a.
It's the name of a supermarket. It ain't Tesco's. Ain't supermarket.
No,
ain't Sainsbury's.
No, but if you want to go like a retreat, you spend the weekend there.
Yeah.
It's a something hotel.
Boutique.
No,
Boutique.
No, like you have a massage and you sit in a jacuzzi.
It's a spa. It's called Spa Hotel.
Right, spa.
Spa.
Right, and the last
Growing
bit,
spa.
Right, and the last bit is what you get on trees.
Branches.
No, the other bits.
Leaves.
Yes. That's
Growing spa trees. Owen Hargreaves.
Got it.
Right, let's get the news with Emma.
I mean,
I don't even know what Jack's doing. That didn't, Jack. Why did you have to press that button? Why did you do what? Just stop pressing buttons for no reason, Jack. Look at him. This man's sitting there in some weirdo shorts that he found in the gym. Look. God dear. Right, follow us at 7. Adrian Durham and Tash Dowie bring you the latest transfer stories before previewing the Women's Euros in a 2-hour special. But now, England's women are 1-0 down after an opening day defeat in the first of 5 T20s against India. The second match is just getting underway. Watching for talkSPORT is Guy Swindles.
Yeah, that was a record defeat in that first match, Andy, for an England T20 side at Trent Bridge. And they've remained unchanged, England. They decided that was just a bad day at the office, so they've kept the same lineup. We're in the second over of the Indian innings after England won the toss and put India in. And they've already raced along to 13 without loss. Once again, Sumitri Mandana, who scored a century in that first game, is going very nicely indeed. 11 already to her name. So at the moment, as England look to rebuild, one change for India. Harmanpreet Kaur is back as captain after an injury. That means Harleen Deol drops out. But after being put in, going nicely, India 13 without loss in the second over.
Good work as always. Thank you for that, Guy. Right, time now to look ahead to the Club World Cup. All thanks to our friends at DAZN.
FIFA Club World Cup preview on talkSPORT, presented by DAZN. Watch every game of the FIFA Club World Cup live and for free on DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com.
Well, we've got 2 games happening tonight, Benty. Live on talkSPORT 8 p.m. is Real Madrid against Juventus.
Watching that.
Now, on any other day, that's an absolute corker, so it should be tonight, right?
It will be a corker.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, and listen, we hope everyone's safe, but weather warnings and stuff.
Oh, are there? The weather warnings?
No, but I'm guessing, don't know what part they're playing in, but we've seen that. I mean, Chelsea the other day was a prime example, but this game...
started off with the weather warning?
I'm looking forward to it.
Why you started off with that?
No, I'm just saying I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, well, you hope that every time there's a game of football.
Of course. But, yeah, it's going to be a good game. Real Madrid, you'd expect to win this, just because of star power, but, yeah, great. I mean, on paper, if this was a Champions League game, you'd go, oh, my goodness. But because...
How's Trent been playing?
He's done okay.
Is he?
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's set the world alight yet, but he was involved in one of the goals, I think it was their last game they played, Real Madrid, where he set it, and then he was like the pre-assister. So he passed it to someone, they laid it off.
Pre-assister? That sounds like a car.
Yeah, so...
He's a pre-assister?
He was a pre-assister. But
he assisted the assister?
Yeah, he's done all right. He's actually done okay. But still, I mean, tonight's where the test started, isn't it? I mean, he's Juventus, and then we go from there.
Yeah. Dortmund at 2 a.m. They're in action against... Who are they playing?
Dortmund?
Monterrey.
Oh, Monterrey.
Is it Monterrey?
Monterrey, yeah.
Right. Do you know much about Monterrey?
And you know what? I've seen them a few times.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, Monterrey.
Who sticks out for you?
Well, when I think about Monterrey, I mean, they've got some good players in that squad.
Yeah, go on, here we go.
So they've got some really good players.
Yeah. Like who? Give me an example.
Okay, so you've got people like, when we go to the forward line, Germain Bertaremi.
Oh, they've got Bertaremi.
Yeah, he's a good player. Autorio Gonzalez, Mexican international, who's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Jose Alvarado.
Sorry, wasn't that a BBC show they closed down?
No, 1 goal in 13 matches, but not really the most prolific. They've got obviously Ocampos, good player, man.
Why obviously?
No goals in 14 games.
He's poor, he is. You sure he plays with them?
But no, do you know what? It's been Monterrey, been one of those teams, it's been a collective.
A collective what?
That performances, which has got them to this point. Okay. Dominic Torrent, the coach, the Spanish coach. 62 years old, yeah, he's done quite well for him.
62?
Yeah.
What's his background?
What, the coach?
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
Well, just paint a picture for me, like where what clubs has he managed?
Monterrey's been there. Galatasaray, he was there for it didn't last that long, from January.
How long did it last?
I think he was there from January to June.
Hour.
For 2022.
5 months?
Yeah. Flamingo, he was there for, again, a few months. New York City, he was there for a year.
What, just on vacation?
I'll give you something, though.
Yeah?
He was Man City assistant coach.
Oh, that one.
Yes, July 2016 to June 2018, yeah. He was assistant coach.
Just before they became successfinal.
And do you know what? I think he spent a bit of time with Pep because he was at Bayern as well.
Yeah, so done your homework, you know.
Yeah, I know, but a lot about him. Yeah.
Quarterfinals: Palmeiras against Chelsea. That's Chelsea through. PSG against Bayern Munich.
Hey, listen. Hey, don't say that because that's not a given. That.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now.
Okay, go on then. Here we go, Mr. Club World Cup man.
The reason why I say because Palmeiras, I like Palmeiras. They obviously won 1-0 last time, but they play some good stuff, man, and they attack with some serious pace.
Any players we should be aware of?
Yeah, there's a few. Some
great players. Well, just roughly, people tune in for the first time. Who should they be looking for?
Well, do you remember Felipe Anderson?
Can't forget him, mate.
Okay, who do you play? No,
I do remember Felipe Anderson.
Who did he play for? He was in the Premier League. Who did he play for? And when he came,
I do remember Felipe Anderson.
I think he came from Fiorentina, right? No, right.
Anderson.
Was he Fiorentina? No, it was Lazio, right?
Right.
Who did he play for?
It wasn't Fulham, was it? Was it London side?
He was a London side. And I remember thinking, oh, what a signing that is. And it just didn't work for him.
Felipe... It wasn't West Ham.
West Ham.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Felipe Anderson. He's there.
Yeah.
32 years old. Paulinho. No goals in 7 matches.
The Spurs one?
Nah, see, 24-year-old young kid. But but they've got some good players, Palmeiras. Okay. I'm looking forward to this game.
So they take on Chelsea, PSG take on Bayern Munich, and Al Hilal against Fluminense.
Did you see Harry Kane's 2 goals over there?
No.
Oh my goodness. The first one took a slight deflection. The second one, if you talk about finisher, one of the best in the world ever.
He is one of the best in the world.
I think Kimmich gives him a reverse, right? And then he doesn't even look at the goal. He takes one touch and he just feeds it into the near post like it starts outside of the post and comes back in. And I looked at that and just thought, there are some people on the planet that don't rate him. I don't see how he can't.
Do you think he's the best number 9 on the planet at the moment?
Ooh, he's in the discussion.
With who?
It's Haaland's in there.
Okay, we're going to talk about him next.
Isaac.
Save that. That was a look ahead to the Club World Cup with our friends at DAZN. Watch every game of the FIFA Club World Cup live and for free on DAZN. Sign up at DAZN.com.
FIFA Club World Cup preview on talkSPORT, presented by DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com to watch every game live and for free.
talkSPORT weather, presented by Darren Bent. Good L.
Why? Yeah, good luck to everyone out there tonight.
Sunshine on.
You mentioned Hurling, right? It's now been 3 years since Haaland landed in the Premier League, right? And his stats have been, well, nothing short of sensational. 85 goals in 97 Premier League games.
That's incredible.
Let me say that again. 85 in 97. Nuts. He's played 146 games for City in all comps. He scored 124 and provided 21 assists. Therefore, that is 145 goal/assists in 146 games.
He's incredible. He's an absolute freak of nature when you look at the goals that he's got. I mean, he'll be in the 100 club next season. That's fact. So, he's... Do you know
how many does I say he's on? 85. Jeez.
So he's on 85, right? But I almost feel like as well, he's almost... I won't say he's slowed down, but remember when he first got here and we was talking about some crazy numbers like...
will he get 50 goals in the season?
Right, Premier League goals, and everyone was like, he could do it.
Yeah.
But I would say since then he's probably slowed down because he got 52 the first season he was here. In his first season he was here, he got 52 goals in 53 games, 36 in the league.
Wow.
So in the league he got 36 goals in 35 matches. So that's what he did.
Okay.
Then the following season he got 38 goals in 45 games, 27 in the league, which is incredible. And this season just gone. He's got 34 and 48, 22 in the league. So his numbers are going down.
Yeah,
right?
but they're still high.
I mean, they're still, because the standard he set, they are going down.
The first season was insane.
Everything he touched went in. But yeah, he's what a striker.
Well, here we go. Does that make him a top 10 Premier League striker of all time? Benny, you've done your top 10?
I've done 10, yeah, and it's hard.
Okay, so you put me in order, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, go 10 to 5 as quick as you can without too much
okay, 10, I've put him in for... There'll be people out there again. Now there's people better than him, but I'll put him in 10 because I have to get him in.
Okay.
Ian Wright, he's 10.
Oh, without a doubt you've got to put Wright in there.
I mean, there's big ones that have been left out. Wright is getting in.
Wright, he's got to get in it, yeah, I agree with that.
This is the toughest one for me on the list. So number 9, I've got 2 players / I'm going to let you make the final decision because I can't pull them apart.
No,
right?
it's your list.
Well, I can't do that.
Okay, fine.
9.
Any of them play for Man United?
Andy Cole.
Right.
Or Michael Owen.
Oh, well, Michael Owen...
I know he won the Ballon d'Or, but think about Coley, his goal record.
Yeah, I'll put Coley in there.
So Owen gone.
Oh, my goodness.
See? So we'll go back to that. Right.
Okay.
Number 8, Suarez.
Yeah.
7, Haaland.
You went back up again.
Yeah, 7.
Haaland, you put Erling Haaland, number 7 of all-time Premier League strikers.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 6 better than him.
Yeah.
Okay.
6.
I know number 1.
Aguero.
You're saying Aguero's better than Haaland?
Look how long he was in the Premier League, man. Come on, look at the goals scored.
Aguero better than Haaland?
But longevity as well, bit of that. And number 5, Drogba.
Okay. But Drogba, without doubt, the best big game player ever.
Correct.
Yeah. Do you know what he was like at international level for big game?
Ivory Coast. I'm not sure, but all I know is in this country.
I'd like to know what his international record is for the Ivory Coast.
I think I've read something, and I might be wrong. He scored in 12 cup finals. 12.
Can I ask? Was he prolific?
So he won. Do you know? I think he won a couple of golden boots. So there you go.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What in the league? Oh, I did. Okay, fine.
Couple of golden boots.
Okay, yeah. Number 4.
You said you wanted. What you said you wanted? 5.
Yeah, but you've hit 5.
Oh, you said go quick.
Yeah, but I was going 10 to 6. Okay. Now you've thrown in the 5.
Well,
so
number 4, Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
Was I?
Do you think Wayne Rooney would have been higher up on your list if he only played as a number 9?
Yeah, because he's incredible. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Was I?
Genius?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, fine.
Do you want to get going? Or
Yeah.
Are we going?
Well, I mean,
okay, all
we're
right.
going home in 15 minutes.
All right, 3 Kane.
Okay.
Look at his numbers,
Just
man.
trying to think. I know one of them. I'm trying to think of the other two you put in front of him.
Number 2, Shearer.
All right.
The guy's got 260.
Yeah.
Number 1, Anelka.
Anelka?
Thierry, you know, Henri.
Can I just ask a question, right? And maybe this is for a conversation another day, right?
Probably.
But you're
Don't
saying...
start then.
No. You're saying Henri's the greatest Premier League player of all time, right? I don't want to argue with that because it's an unbelievable point, right? But as a striker...
Yeah.
I'm suggesting that Shearer was a better striker. Now, Henri used to come in from out wide, right?
Well,
on
he
the
started
left.
on the middle, but he used to drift out there.
Okay. But I'm talking about as a number 9, an outright number 9. I would say Shearer is a better goal scorer.
I mean, hold on.
You hear what I'm saying, right?
No.
I'm not saying better player because Thierry Henry is top of that list.
Yep.
Right? I'm just talking about you're talking about Premier League strikers.
Right, well, this is Thierry's goal scoring record at Arsenal, right? Season upon season.
It's going to be less than Shearer.
Right, no, but this is why he's at top, right? So
do you want me to write this down?
When he first
I'll
got
write him down. Go on.
right, 17.
This is league.
Yeah, first game.
Yeah.
The season 17.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
30.
Jeez.
25. 27.
They're just Premier League goals.
They're all just Premier League.
Okay, read out Shearer.
Oh, so much fun, Shearer's. Yeah, but Shearer's are going to be higher than that.
Oh, so you're reading out to impress me. Shearer's are going to be more impressive, right?
Okay, that's fine. Let's get Shearer's up.
They're going to be much more impressive. Don't go Southampton.
I remember when Shearer's playing, first of all, they played more games in the season.
Okay, but 2 more.
Oh, it makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Yeah, but where did I start?
You start when he went to Blackburn.
So no, just we'll go Premier League, right?
Okay. Yeah, Premier League. Yeah, go on.
Jesus, Shearer. Here we go, right.
Go on.
16, Blackburn. 16.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
34.
Yeah.
31.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
2.
Let's get that on, yeah.
14.
Yeah.
23.
Okay.
5.
Smashed it.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Thierry.
So here's my question, right? We're going to debate on this. Number 9. Right? No, not on your list as a number 9, the shirt number.
I'm taking Thierry.
Are you?
Yes, over anything, yeah.
You're saying Thierry's a better number 9 than Shearer?
Yeah, I'm taking Thierry, yeah.
I'm not.
Someone's put here, and it's I think his name Reese or Rise. 09-10 Drogba, wow. And I remember playing against him that season.
Yeah.
I came third in the Golden Boot race, right? He scored 29 and 32 games, yeah. And he went to the African Cup of Nations, come back.
That's insane, isn't it? How many did you get that year?
24.
Oh, wow.
Was I got 27.
Not good enough, though. Which is what I find myself saying to you. 7:01. When we come back, one more Billy will be in the studio with all his mates for the end of the show quiz.
villain role very well now. That's crying out for a little bit more attention. It comes with a lot of crazy people. I took it personally, and it kind of made me rebel a bit more. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I'm never going to change.
Some people are so funny.
What tune this is?
There's a geezer put here, unbelievable guy called Sam. Wimbledon and Bent. Under Terence Henry, whoever that is, above Mo Salah. Well, Mo Salah wasn't a striker.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah, but I know he's talking about Terence Henry. He's put Mo Salah.
He's not a striker.
Exactly.
This is Drive on talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, Motorpoint, Newcastle, same day. Driveway available on Newcastle. Book a test drive today. Second day of Wimbledon, well and truly underway. Watching for talkSPORT is Ronnie's mum. Here's Lisa O'Sullivan.
How dare you? I'm not old enough. Andy, really? A real shock, though, to report, because the number 3 seed, Alexander Zverev, is out. He's been beaten in 5 sets, 7-6, 6-7, 6-3, 6-7, 6-4 by Arthur Rinderknecht of France in the match they started last night on centre court. And the Frenchman, this is his equaling his best ever result, but it's his biggest ever win in his career. Over on court number 1, Jack Draper cruising, really. He's 6-1, 5-1 up on Sebastian Baez of Argentina. The Argentinians had the medic out because he twisted his knee really quite badly, and we will see if he survives another set. But it looks to me like Jack Draper is heading towards the second round in some style.
Thanks, Lisa. I meant sister. Right, the reunion of the century is just around the corner. We're giving you the chance to win a pair of Oasis tickets in Manchester on July the 19th. Yes, you heard that right. Oasis Live 25 is sold out, but talkSPORT can get you in, and that's not all. Alongside the tickets, we'll put you up for a night in a hotel, and we'll put $5,000 in your back pocket, completely tax-free. Listen up right now for everything you need to know and how to enter.
On iArcade, you have to be over 18 to enter in the UK, excluding Northern Ireland, for the chance to win a pair of tickets to the most electrifying rock and roll reunion of the century, a hotel stay and $5,000 spending money. Text the word Oasis to 83338 by Monday the 7th of July at 11 p.m, and you'll be entered into the draw to go supersonic this summer. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or post your name and number to Oasis Prize Draw, PO Box 3190, Colchester, CO2 8GP, to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 10th of July.
This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. Good luck, yeah? Sorted.
You can.
Sorted. One more Billy's in the studio. Nice to see you.
You too.
How's your day been?
Really.
No one cares, Bill. No one cares.
Why are you wearing a Derby County top?
Why are you wearing a jumper?
Chilly, innit? It is cold in that control room.
It's not cold in here, mate.
No. What are we doing? Yeah, we've only got about 2 minutes. What are we doing?
End of show quiz. It's about being hot, actually.
Oh, good.
Just
Okay.
a quiz about hot things.
Okay.
Andy, do you want to go first?
Well, you know the answer to
that. What's the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth?
On Earth?
Yeah.
What do you want it in, centigrade or Fahrenheit? I only deal with the bigger one.
Celsius. Centigrade.
Okay, that's a smaller one. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I would say on
Earth
57.
Ooh, 56 degrees Celsius.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you've got to give me that point, right?
Yeah,
well, no, because it's wrong.
Measured on July the 10th, 1913.
You was there, weren't you?
I measured it
in California.
I was sweating.
Benny, how hot's the centre of the sun?
Oh, good work.
Oh my goodness.
It's
do you mean the newspaper?
Can I have the?
Do you want some options?
Can I say that? No one knows.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
I think they do.
No, they don't.
5,500 degrees.
No, that's absolute nonsense.
1 million, 15 million.
Give me that 1 million.
No, it's got to be 15 million.
It is 15 million.
How do they know that?
Yeah, it's nonsense.
The surface
You get anywhere near it, it just blow
the
up.
surface is only 5,000.
Do you know what the sun is?
Yeah, ball of fire.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Moose.
Hello.
Moose, I'll talk to you after the show.
No worries.
Thanks, man. Go on, Bill.
Andy.
Yeah, what is it?
It's like a burning star.
Okay, so I was close then.
Yeah, you were okay. Yeah.
It was very hot at Glastonbury over the weekend.
Correct.
Who has headlined Glastonbury the most times?
Okay, I need some.
Arctic Monkeys, Coldplay, Van Morrison.
So I'd Coldplay ahead
Yeah,
from the
I've
get-go.
got Coldplay. Coldplay.
Yeah, it is. How many times?
Yeah, don't care.
Is it more or less than 40? It's 6.
5.
I'm on 1 out on everything tonight.
Shout out Chris Martin. I'll get him on if you want.
Chris Martin.
That's his name.
All right, go on there.
I know. I'll get him on.
Sticking with Glastonbury, who's attracted the most fans to their headline performance of all time?
It's got to be Coldplay, if they've been there most times.
It's Paul McCartney, Elton John, David Bowie.
Oh, it's got to be old Paul in it, Paul McCartney.
Old Paul.
Sir Paul.
Is it Sir Elton
Sir
John?
Paul.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Is it Sir Elton? It must be, right?
Is it Paul McCartney?
No, it was Elton John. 120,000 people.
Yeah, that is funny.
Were they all crop rocking?
Yeah.
We haven't really got time.
What's the coldest temperature ever recorded?
Well, let's both have a guess.
Minus 50.
I'd say it can't be minus 50. What, on the planet?
Yeah.
Oh, minus 30 then.
I'll take Bentley's minus 50.
Minus 89.
Told you.
So I was right.
0.2.
Bang! Excuse me. That's it. I really enjoyed that. It was one of my favourite shows.
Me too.
Should we do it again tomorrow at the same time?
Yeah. Why are you playing War?
Edwin Starr.
Is that who sings this?
Yeah, great tune. I don't know why Jack's playing it. Jack is off to get some new shorts on and to get rid of those stinky ones he's got. And then we'll off to the pub. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday evening. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.